Yeah.
Boning, baby. Make America nut again.
That's gross. That's disgusting.
Let's talk about cheese.
What are you going to have for lunch?
I was at dinner with my wife and a friend.
Kitty, kitty, pussy, kitty, kitty, kitty. Flap, flap, flap.
Shut up, I'm trying to talk to Paul.
Toucher and Hardy.
Good luck trying to put your finger in it when there's a million holes.
On 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Let's go.
I eat out. I eat different kinds of foods. I enjoy cooking, preparing foods. John cooked shrimp scampi.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Good morning. Shrimp scampi.
Morning.
Shrimp scampi for breakfast. It's opposite day. Passions. You can watch us on YouTube. Subscribe to 98.5 The Sports Hub on YouTube and watch away. Big show on the way today. Bert Breer are going to be in for the 7 o'clock hour, and Cedric Maxwell and Robert Parrish will be on together. Coming up at 8:20, the two of them.
Yeah, very good. Cool. Yeah. Chief's in town this week.
You call him Chief.
That was his nickname when he played.
I understand that, Jonathan, but you call him Chief.
I did not know until I read portions of his book how he got the nickname Chief, or I knew and I had forgotten.
Cedric.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but why did Cedric call him Chief?
I forgot. I knew yesterday.
One flew over the cuckoo's nest.
That's right.
Yeah.
John said, I said, you call him Chief, and John says, yeah, that's his nickname.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying that you still
I don't know him personally. No.
Right, so usually nicknames you say to someone you know personally. But that's all. It's just splitting hairs, Johnny.
Okay.
You didn't get a lot of sleep last night, did you, Johnny?
No, not really.
No, you've been aggravated since we've turned the mics on.
How have I been aggravated?
No, you can tell.
You can tell.
Okay.
You can tell. You can tell you've been aggravated.
All right.
There is... I'm going after the show today, not right after the show, but after the show, I'm going to go down to Florida with my son, where we were going to spring training, but there's only 2 days of spring training left where we're going. Mm-hmm. 3 parks within an hour of each other, where there's only a couple games left. So we're going Saturday and Sunday, then I have to fill Monday and Tuesday, and he has a friend who's staying in Miami, and I'm going to be in Jupiter. I think I told you. I know Hardy knows. Did I tell you about this, Jonathan?
Yes, you did. Yes.
And the friend's parents said, why don't you come visit us for the day in Miami? And I believe knowing that it was very far from where I am.
That's an hour and a half drive? Thereabouts?
Johnny. No.
Jupiter to Miami?
2.5 hours.
2.5 hours.
And then if you say, no, it's not, it might not be at 6 o'clock in the morning, but I can assure you, via the several intense discussions I had yesterday, it was 2:20 to 2:45 one way or another for the majority of the day yesterday. So, and if you think you can catch me on it, I got news for you. You can't, because I had this discussion a couple times yesterday, and these facts still remained. If you go by Google Maps, which let's go by, the 95 corridor between West Palm, I'm not even in West Palm, between Jupiter and Miami is not a pleasant thing. You have to go through Fort Lauderdale and everything else. I mean, it's not a good stretch of highway as it is, let alone the 90. If it was 91 miles, pedal to the metal, I'm not going. But let alone with the traffic. I mean, I'm just saying traffic to add to it, that it's not really a factor. Not driving 91 miles to hang out with strangers, but nonetheless, something that was a bit of an inconvenience to deal with yesterday. But there you go.
It's not great. The thought of doing that. Also not great dealing with the explanation as to why you're not doing that.
Which deep down, he knew that this was never going to happen. But and it was sort of rude of him to even float it, let alone completely impractical. But then I explained it's vacation. Let's say we're in bed 9 hours a day. That gives us 15 hours of waking time.
Mm-hmm.
So you're knocking off a third of that in the car. So no. No, we will not be doing that under any circumstances. Will we be doing that? Which he knew he wouldn't. But it was just having me telling him how far it was and then having him check to see if I was like screwing with him or somehow mistaken. Because, there's been times that he's been right about things like, Giannis's brother is on Milwaukee. Like I didn't know that a couple years ago. So there are things that I've argued with him about, of course, that he was right and I was wrong. It happens every so often. But this, he was checking it just to make sure that I wasn't messing with him.
Mm-hmm.
Considering there are different media markets, there's international airports that you wouldn't fly into Miami to get to West Palm, let alone Jupiter. So, and then the way I put it to my ex-wife when we were discussing it was, this is exactly what it would be if you said, hey, you're going to be in New York City. And the person went, oh, yeah. And you're like, well, come on down to Philadelphia. Drive on down to Philadelphia. I'll be in Philadelphia. Why don't you come down?
Yeah.
It's only 90 miles away.
Uh-huh.
No train, but, why don't you just drive on down for the day?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Just pop on down and spend the day in Philadelphia and then drive back up. You usually don't go like, I'm going to New York, so we're taking a trip to New York for the weekend. We'll just pop on down to Philadelphia for a day. Come back. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's like if there's a wedding or something, you would do that, but not for the day. No, grab lunch. Not going down to Philadelphia to grab lunch, and it's the same thing. I believe it's just about the same distance.
Yeah, the distance is pretty close.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, there's people that commute from Philadelphia to New York. I mean, my ex-wife's sister did it for a little bit. So, I mean, and I think she did it 5 days a week. It was before COVID.
Jeez, that's brutal. Oh, God.
Yeah, the job didn't last forever, let's be honest. But, and it wasn't well thought out. But I believe she did do that for a while. Remember Manish Mehta used to do that?
Yes, I do.
Manish Mehta used to drive from Philadelphia to New York. Now, he didn't have to do it every day, but he had, whenever he went to Jets practice, he would drive out to wherever it is now. I can't
Hempstead.
remember. Hempstead, thank you. We had to drive to Hempstead.
That's even further, right?
I think that where he was, it was like
okay.
a little bit, like he was outside of Philly and Hempstead.
He better have been north if he's outside of Philly.
Yeah, you're right. But I think it might have been a little bit easier for him because I know we talked about it with him on the air and he was trying to justify it, which was really unjustifiable. But there you go.
Now, were you at all worried about the TSA situation?
It apparently hasn't been an issue at Logan.
Good.
That's an upset.
So
It's really not. Logan is.
It depends on what terminal you get, but
here's the deal. There's 5 terminals at Logan, and they each have their individual security.
Yeah.
So on a Friday afternoon, how many people are traveling out of Logan, let alone if you split them into 5 different groups?
I just thought it. You're flying Delta, right?
Yeah.
All right, so that's Terminal A. That's the new terminal. They do a very good job there. That's true.
Well, E's the newest, as I filmed a video out there that never was released. But E is the newest terminal. But no, Logan, I've never had a problem at Logan. I've been here for 20 years, and I've never had a problem getting through security at Logan, ever. Never.
Now, on the other end, which is what I'm worried about for next week, and I'm sure it'll all be cleared up by then. Everyone will be back to work and getting paychecks, and I'm sure, in a week's time.
Well, so the only thing the country has to focus on right now, so
Yeah.
I imagine they're going to get this done lickety-split.
Exactly. But flying out of here, like you, Fred, I'm not worried. Never had an issue at Logan. It's Vegas that can be the problem. And flying out of Vegas, you would think as one of the busiest airports in the world, they would have the security situation in check. But I've on trips where there was no issues going on with the TSA or, anything anywhere, walked up to certain security lines and said, oh, my God. Even with the TSA pre-check, oh, my God. And it does tend to move quickly, but it's just seeing the 100 or more people in line that gives you the anxiety.
Well, Atlanta is the busiest airport in the world. And Hartsfield-Jackson, as of 12 hours ago, had a 2-hour wait time.
Oh, Jesus.
Miami, 47 minutes. But you know what they do at Atlanta is all of you have obviously flown out of Atlanta. I don't know if you've just had connections there, but if you've ever flown out of Atlanta, it being the world's busiest airport, the main hub of Delta, it is the world's busiest airport. Just like Detroit is in the Eastern time zone. I lived in Atlanta. They went on and on about it. But I
don't know if it is.
Yeah, right. So, but if you recall your trips to Atlanta,
For the record, that one was you, not me. I didn't do it.
there is one. Well, I brought it up. There's one. There's one security for the whole airport.
In Atlanta?
Yep, one security for the whole airport. Now it's gigantic.
Yeah.
But I've never seen it where all the lanes were full at any point. So, that's a disaster. How they do that is just nuts. But Atlanta's a disaster. Apparently, Miami and Fort Lauderdale are disasters right now too. So,
And I think TSA pre-check goes out the window at times like this. I'm not sure that's a thing.
TSA
right now.
pre-check doesn't even do you any good anymore. I mean, it helps a little bit. It's the clear entry, which I don't have. That seems because they put you in the head of the TSA line.
Well, I told you like 2 trips ago, went to get in the TSA line, or as we were walking up, they're like, "Hey, do you want to sign up for Clear? It's right over here. It only costs this much. You can get signed up." I was like, "No, I don't know what it is. I don't have time to think about that right now." And then get over to security, and TSA pre-check was closed. I said, "Oh." That's what they're doing. They're trying to get people to sign up for Clear because TSA pre-check can't be trusted. Sometimes they just close it. See? You want to come back and sign up for Clear now? No.
Yeah, that seems to get people in front of the line. TSA is fine. I mean, I have TSA pre-check, but it's not that big a deal. But I got to check bags. So, I mean, that throws all that out the window anyway.
All his crap.
Huh?
For all his crap.
Well, yeah, he's down there for, a week and a half.
Yeah, with all his gear and stuff.
Yeah, and he's got to bring, he doesn't even have to bring a bat. So
Are you normally, would you, if you're, say, going away on a 5-day beach or, a warm weather destination vacation, would you check a bag?
If I'm with my kids, yeah, because I got to bring like a beach bag with stuff in it, and yeah, I would bring a bigger bag. I can't get away with a carry-on if I have my kids with me. I'm not positive traveling for 5 days I could get away with a carry-on anyway.
Well, then you and I are not traveling together. You carry it on, or you
don't say that. I would do whatever it took.
You carry it on, or you're not bringing it.
Well, then I would
you're
have
not
to.
going.
Well, then I would have to carry it on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the honor would be such that I would have to.
Nope.
No, I would do anything.
Do you inspect your kids' bags when you travel to make sure that
You should.
It's just a carry-on?
Yeah, because my daughter got like a couple of pieces of luggage recently, and I think this was a trip that her and Marcy took together. But she screwed up and brought the wrong bag and had to check it. Marcy's the same way. She doesn't check a bag. We don't believe in it. That's our family crest. We'll carry on.
Mm-hmm. So Miles' baseball team, which I'm leaving before they start, but he's staying down there, they have gear that they have to wear. But they have games down there, so they have games and practices. So he has practice gear that he has to wear. Don't ask me why. And then their game gear, and invariably he will not have at least some of it, which will become a huge issue. And all that stuff's at his mom's house, and he was there last night. Whenever he got home, he was there last night. So that's going to be. I just know that something bad is going to happen with that. He's not going to have something, and it has nothing to do with me. There's nothing I can do about it. He's a child of divorce. Those clothes happen to be at his mom's house where he was staying last evening. And so,
well, whatever he doesn't have with him, he can just buy when he gets down there. Don't you worry about it.
Well, he left some baseball pants down, his school baseball pants, which have to be special ordered, and that was last year.
Yeah, that was.
But
fun.
he claims that someone stole them.
Yeah.
That's probably the more likely scenario.
That happens all the time.
But he was new to the team, and I didn't know the coach, and I'm like, oh my god! Now because they had a game, and he didn't know he didn't have the pants until the day of the game. That's right. I think I was doing it in commercial breaks. Some of it, like calling the hotel and trying to figure out if they had it. That's right, because right when they come back, they have games, and I think he didn't realize he didn't have the pants until the day of the game, because he was going to school and needed to have his pants with him, and so but the coach gave him his pants.
Oh,
yeah,
that was nice of him.
No, it was not. It turns
know
out I liked the coach, but I didn't know the coach at the time, so I didn't know what the hell he was going to do. I didn't know if he was going to, get super pissed. I mean, some coaches get super pissed; they won't let you play. So I was like, this is his first game in Massachusetts for his school, and I don't know if he would have played anyway. But I'm like, what if he doesn't let him go? Then this sets a precedent, and he's at this school. Part of the reason he's at the school is for baseball, and, he's not playing baseball. It was a big, big crisis, which will happen again. I can assure you of that.
I'm hoping for your sake it's not today.
And I went through – well, I wasn't with him because when we leave, I go through that room, but he doesn't like it because I go through the room to make sure he didn't leave anything. And then he has to literally apologize to me because every time I find something that he didn't pack. Every time. And then he has to apologize. And then he'll go, sorry, I'm sorry. Dad, I'm sorry. Dad, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Dad. I don't care. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Just remember these things.
I expected it. I walked into your room thinking this was going to happen anyway.
The seventh apology, I'm like, all right, dude, I didn't yell at you.
Yeah.
You're the one yelling at me. There's a lot of that. It seems almost a reverse abusive relationship where there's a lot of yelling at me for things, and then I'll just go, all right, and then he'll end up apologizing. It's a whole cycle. It's very dangerous. I don't like it. All right, Dan, go ahead.
Please, everyone, stop recording game-winning shots of March Madness on your phone in your living room of your TV, and stop posting the caption, "This is madness, March Madness," right?
All right, so you're saying
so annoying.
Okay, so
I can't take it.
So people are filming themselves watching March Madness, and the winning shots of March Madness, and your problem with it is the caption, which is justified. But I can also give you this, Dan. If you're taping yourself, it's worthless because it is not an authentic reaction. As little as I would care about someone's reaction, there are times where if someone flipped out and was crying because their team lost, like a grown man, it would be kind of funny to see. But if they know they're being taped, or and let's face it, Dan, even if we're under the guise that they don't know they're being taped, it's a 99% chance that they're somewhat aware that something's being filmed.
Exactly. It's slowly rewound, and they're reacting to it a second time. And
or even if
keep playing the meme in my head, straight to jail, directly to jail.
Right.
From Parks and Rec. It's terrible.
Yes, it's just it's worthless. It's just stupid. You're taping yourself having a reaction to something. It's so inauthentic. There's no point to it. It's just bad acting at that point. Might as well watch a movie about a guy watching a game. Dad will never understand. I can't believe that hasn't run out of steam yet. That everything is just ignored whenever anyone does that. Oh, whoa. Well, you're holding a phone. What is this? no matter, even if you don't think you're not reacting to the phone, you're playing it up. Ugh. Yeah, those reaction. We you notice we don't do that any. We haven't. I don't think this show's played a reaction video, unless I'm mistaken.
I don't remember one
in many, 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 many years.
When was the last time it would have happened? I don't remember it ever happening. Right?
If I'm sure in 20 years that we've played something, but I anything that was put in Slack or anything that was brought to my attention.
Anytime I see someone breaking their TV or doing something, I just scroll right past it because they know, even if they're not the one taping it, they know they're being filmed.
Yeah, you have, or even if you don't know you're being filmed, you're around other people.
Yeah.
So like you're performing. It's all performative at that point. Like it's never authentic. That's because even if there's like another person there, you're performing for them. I mean, that's how you act. You act differently in the presence of people than you would act on your own. You would have to really illegally spy on someone to get the real reaction, which would probably be them doing horrible things like putting their finger in their butt and smelling it and things like that. Like, there would have to be like all these things that you don't want to see people doing. Bunch of tampon stuff with women, whatever women do when they're alone and they have the dirty underwear on. All the stuff. The underwear that men never see. Like all that stuff.
A bunch of tampons?
I don't know what women do when they're alone, but I imagine it has a lot to do with tampons.
I wouldn't mind smelling your finger.
That's right. He'd put his dangus in his, you'll recall before that one, black dangus.
Even though you're a good policeman, I bet if you try to interrogate me, you couldn't find about what I did bad because I did something, but I'll never tell you.
He tells them, though. All right, so we'll be back in just a moment. We'll catch you up with everything that happened last night.
More Toucher and Make sure you bring the Sports Hub app with you so you can hear more of Toucher and Hardy
That's what I want on my tombstone.
on the Sports Hub.
Did you catch a game last night?
We are Toucher and Hardy. Hardy, what happened last night? You let me know.
Well, spoiler alert. Your bracket may be busted. I talked to John this morning. I said, John, your bracket busted? What'd you say, John?
Oh, sure.
Oh,
Yep.
it sure is.
It's over.
It's
Tear
all
that
over.
thing up, throw it in the trash.
Right? Line your cage with it. It is no good anymore.
I see what you
Line
did
your
there.
cage with my face.
Thanks in thanks
You
in,
heard me.
thanks in large part to what
What?
happened between UNC and VCU last night. UNC with a 19-point lead. VCU claws their way back. Sorry, John. And forces
That's if you said talent your way back. That would be more of a...
forces overtime. VCU goes on to get the 82-78 win in a big upset that Hubert Davis had this to say about.
Felt like just the small details. In order for a team to come back, they have to be good enough and resilient enough to do that, and VCU was. But also believe that there were mistakes made that helped them come back.
He might get fired.
We let him back in.
That was no upset, by the way. That North Carolina team's not very good.
VCU is far better than expected. Like Phil Martelli Jr. We talked about him yesterday.
So I bet a bunch of the underdogs yesterday on the money line. And a lot of them, I think VCU, UNC was one of them, where the payout on the money line for the underdog was not that great. Like, it's got to be at least a 12-5 to get any real return on the action. So,
I'm not lying to you. That wasn't a game that a lot of people. I mean, UNC was not. They might have been a 7.5 point favorite or 8-point favorite, but it wasn't like crazy.
They're missing their best player, so I mean that's part of it too.
if you wanted a big payout, you had to go something along the lines of High Point.
Brody is looking. He'll throw the baseball pass into the front court. It is intercepted by Anderson, and the Panthers have reached their highest point. The High Point Panthers stun Wisconsin 83-82, and High Point will move to the second round.
Now, that was a nice payout yesterday. That was well done there, High Point. 83-82, the 12-5 upset.
Who cares?
But if you want to talk upsets of all upset that wasn't actually an upset, let's talk about Siena and Duke. Now, this one was fun.
Yeah.
Because I didn't bother betting Siena on the money line yesterday. I'm like, this is ridiculous. I'm not going to throw my money away. But 8 minutes into the game and they're up 8. I'm like, all right, I'll see what it's at. Still at plus 1,400. All right, let's take a shot at it. Siena, with a lead for much of this game, played their starters for almost the entirety of it. The only substitution happened with less than a minute to go.
Okay. But John sent a scathing thing on whatever the hell we use. Slack about how Siena should have won that game.
They did. They should have.
No, they shouldn't have.
Absolutely, they should have.
No, I watched the last 5-10 minutes of that game.
I'm not piling on.
Chance.
I didn't agree with that assessment.
And it's not like it's a ridiculous assessment.
No.
It was just you were so passionate about it. I thought it was misguided.
They should have won the game. Look, Duke was terrible yesterday.
Yeah.
Terrible yesterday. And Siena missed a lot of open shots. They turned the ball over a ton of times. Some of that, I'm sure, had to do with the fatigue because Jerry McNamara, who, by the way, is interviewed for that Boston College basketball opening, played his starters the whole game. If he had just rotated one or two guys in for a few minutes, maybe his guys wouldn't have made a lot of mental mistakes late. But Duke did everything they possibly could to kick that game away.
So when you said, and again, just in our own private communique, that Siena should have won this game and they should have won it comfortably.
Yep.
No. Duke was missing all the threes at the start. Had they just gone inside a little bit earlier, then they would have been able to keep it a little bit closer, and they also would have tired Siena out more quickly.
The way the game played out, because Duke played terribly and Siena, they had all those chances to win. I thought that Siena could have easily won that game by 5 or 7.
See, I don't see it going down that way. That team Duke is too talented. Their players are just too good.
No argument. Talent-wise, it's an incredible mismatch.
40 minutes against the same 5 guys and not find a way to win it. And look, it's not just me because I cashed it out. They were when Siena was still up 6. I said this is going south, and I'm going to make my money on this. And then, with about 6 minutes left, I think maybe it was more like 7 or 8, doesn't matter. But Siena still had like a 6 or 7 point lead. The money line was whatever, but if you just wanted to bet it straight up, it was Duke minus 6.5, trailing by 6, well into the second half. So everybody knew what was going to happen.
Of course, and I understand why you would do that, but Siena went scoreless for about 6 or 7 minutes there in the second half. Duke scored 13 points in those 7 minutes. And the way college basketball is, 13 points in 7 minutes, usually you lose the game. So I'm just saying it was a complete mismatch talent-wise. That's why one team is a high seed, one's a low seed. But if you get to that point in the second half, I think Siena could have easily won that game. And won it by more than one possession.
We could have moved on, but you keep saying it easily and comfortably. There was nothing.
Feel free to dwell.
There was nothing. There was nothing easy or comfortable about it. They were shooting out of their minds early on.
True.
And Duke was looked like a different team for the first two-thirds of that game.
Cameron Boozer was bad.
Yeah.
Is it me or he can't jump? He looks like he can't jump at all.
He had look. They weren't switching on defense. They looked like they had their feet stuck in cement. So I noticed it more like on the rebounds than I did on the offense.
Yeah,
there's
nothing explosive to him.
Well,
if you're a scout and you wind up with that top 3 pick, not that you haven't already seen him already, but this is, to me, it's alarming.
It's funny. I saw a mock draft yesterday that had him going 2 behind Peterson. But the thing is that I saw him play against Michigan State. Look, again, none of us are claiming to be college basketball experts or experts of any kind. But I've seen Boozer. That's the 3rd time I've seen him play against Michigan State. He looked like far and away the best player on the court. Like he looked like I was like, wow, this kid's going to be a really good NBA, but not maybe a huge star, but I thought a very good NBA player. And yesterday he just looked terrible against inferior competition, which is, I'm with you, a little inexcusable. Because, I saw other games yesterday. Like I watched every minute of the Michigan State game, which I can't on Saturday because I'll be at a meaningless spring training game. But nonetheless, like Cohen Carr from Michigan State, who's usually is just a great athlete but can't shoot. So, he plays great defense. He's a really good rebounder, but he can't shoot, so he doesn't score a lot. They couldn't. Like if he got the ball within 5 feet of the basket, he was dunking because they couldn't. There's nothing they could do about it. He could out jump all of them. He could out physical all of them. So your point about Boozer not being able to when you play a team like that has just such inferior athleticism, because that's really what the difference is. These kids probably all can shoot the same, if not better. It's just that athleticism that you can't stop, because size even now, like there's smaller schools with big kids. It's just comes down to athleticism. That's what D1 schools, they're all D1 schools, but what high majors and mid-majors, the difference between those. Big athletic kids. Those kids usually are at the bigger schools. In some of these games you saw, like I said, there's nothing you can do to stop it. Like Cohen Carr is not going to be an NBA player. But there's no one on North Dakota State that could that could do anything about it.
The same thing with Bryant last year in the first round against Michigan State. Cohen Carr was a superstar in that game, because he was just far more athletic than anyone Bryant had.
Yeah, if you ever wanted to see the difference between the NBA and college basketball, it's Cohen Carr, because Cohen Carr in college basketball in a game like that, if you just saw that game, you'd go, oh my God, who is this kid? He's going to be this huge star.
I remember that kid.
He's really thick and big and is probably the best athlete.
Yeah.
This is no joke. Probably the best athlete in D1 basketball. But
how does it translate to the NBA?
Because he can't shoot and he can't handle the ball. So, but in terms of vertical and explosiveness, I don't think it's near a stretch to say that he's the best in D1 basketball.
It's interesting you bring up guys that are only good at one thing, but they excel. Like, for instance, you talk about High Point. High Point had this kid, number 99. I think his name is Chase Johnson. He made 73s during the season, didn't make one 2-point shot all year. Until yesterday, it was a layup to end the game. It was his first 2-point make of the season. But he averaged like 6 or 7 points a game. His job was to come in and shoot from anywhere. And he did it. He was one of the reasons that they won. But it's a one-dimensional player, and you just happen to flip on the TV and watch him. You go, oh, my God, this kid's incredible. But if you see him for the balance of the season, doesn't have a lot of athleticism, can't get up and down the floor particularly well. He's just good running around in the offensive end laterally to free himself up.
Yeah.
Same thing. One-dimensional player, great college player, won't do anything after this.
And I know we don't have much time, and we'll probably get to the Bruins. So, did you guys watch DeBonza last night?
I did. Dribbling left, puts his shoulder down, fade away above the free throw line is good. AJ DeBonza with 14.
Yes, saw a little bit of the BYU matchup last night in what was not really an upset. Do you think of that as an upset?
No.
No,
but
it was a 6-11.
But what's funny is that Texas should have won that game by. If you want to talk about a team that should have won, that Texas should have won that game by 15 points. But they kept fouling their center, who I guess is a 70% free throw shooter. But I'll look now. He must have missed, because they were in a double penalty for like the last of the second half. He must have missed 8 free throws in a row.
You're talking about the BYU center or the Texas center?
Texas center.
Okay, yeah. I see. Is that kid Pope? He was 3 for 9.
Yes. Okay, so he missed 6. Yeah, he missed 6 free throws probably in a row.
Yeah.
At the end of that game.
But anyone who decided to come in and saw A.J. DeBonta for the first time last night, 35 points, 10 rebounds. That kid should go number 1.
He's not as good as Peterson.
Well, we talk about his dad all the time. Did you hear what he said in the post game?
Just talk to my family. My mom ultimately, she kind of is the big boss. She kind of makes the decisions in life with my family. So, just talk to her, see what she says, and y'all will get an answer in the next couple weeks.
No, the kid I'm looking at was 3 for 11 from the free throw line.
Okay.
Yeah, his name's Matas Vokatitis. He was 3 for 11 from the free throw line.
Okay.
So that's who I'm looking at.
All right.
Yeah, he was terrible. But he had a good game. He was 10 for 17 from the floor, just 3 for 11 from the free throw line. Jeez. If I was the coach at Texas, I would have been losing my mind because But DeBonza is a very good offensive player. But there are some holes in his game.
Finally, Michigan missed covering the spread by 10.5 points. Only beat Howard 101-80. Michigan stinks. So, for what that's worth, that was my final winning bet of the day, and taking a Howard plus 31.5.
It's a lot of points.
It's a lot of points.
I know, but would you have done it anyway, regardless?
I almost took Howard on the money line.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's head over. That's heart over head.
Once again, no, the head went out on that one. I'm not throwing away even $10 on that. No, but I will take them plus 31.5.
All right. Listen, we will be back. The Bruins did play last night. We'll have that for you in just a moment.
Sports Hub headline.
know. No, you don't know.
Everyone agrees that I'm the only one who's not wrong.
Right or wrong, they're back. Toucher and Hardy on the...
We are Toucher and Hardy. Hardy, the home ice hockey team, played at home last night.
They did. Your Boston Bruins home to host the Winnipeg Jets. David Pastrnak, first period.
Pastrnak faked a one-timer, now takes the shot, and the left pad saved by Hellebuck, who can't gather in the rebound. Pasternak's got it, left circle, scores! David Pastrnak gives the Bruins the lead with 5:08 left here in the first.
David Pastrnak gives the Bruins the 1-0 lead. Bruins with two more unanswered in the second. Even the Aardvark scoring there. Arvidsson with the goal at the 18-16 mark to make it 3-0 going into the third. Pavel Zacha scoring 3 minutes into the third, just piling on at this point.
Pass off to the right side for Elias Lindholm coming into the corner against Morrissey. With 1:50 to go. Morrissey couldn't get his stick to it. Geekie got it to Asbro, scores! Jonathan Asbro rifles home his third of the year. It's 6-1.
They're doing this to one of the best goaltenders on the planet.
I was like, Hellebuck
this guy just won a gold medal.
He sucks.
They shelled him last night. There were a couple he didn't have any chance at, and the team ahead of him in front of him is not very good. But there were some shots that beat him clean too.
What did they get? 40 shots on goal? No, 27.
I know. It was really something.
Yeah, that day is stat line taking a hit last night as the Bruins get the 6-1 win over Winnipeg. And as you just embarrassed Connor Hellebuck off the ice. Get the hell out of here with your medal.
He won the Vezina and the Hart Trophy last year, that guy. And they scored 6 on him.
Yeah, there was. I know. Well, that was one that I think didn't have a lot of eyes on it last night just due to the basketball game going on. Fred, I'm impressed that you stayed locked in on that Michigan State game for the entirety because that one felt like it was over kind of early too. But you don't get a chance to watch them on Saturday.
No, but I saw a lot of this game too. But
you did see the Bruins last night.
Well, yeah, because Michigan State played at 4.
Okay.
So I did see the Bruins last night.
Not interested in any of the late basketball, huh?
Well, I mean, I didn't. They were up pretty handily in the game. I didn't watch the every second of it. I was interested in what was going on in that BYU game because that was the first time I'd seen DeBonza play for BYU this season, and they kept showing his dad in the crowd.
Yeah,
and I wondered why.
That's why I thought it was so interesting. He said his mom runs everything. His mom will make the decision on whether he goes to the NBA. Talk to my mom.
Right. That's not true at all. But no, I would go on I would risk every legal decision to say that I don't believe that for 1 second. He was getting $5 million to play for BYU. They're saying he was the highest paid NIL kid, and so if you look at it that way. The highest paid NIL kids out in the first round of the NCAA tournament, and the second highest NIL team in Indiana didn't make the tournament. It doesn't guarantee anything. I guess the other kid getting hurt for BYU just made it really DeBonza's team, and then that is too much to ask of one kid. Obviously, he was almost entirely their entire offense.
Well, he scored half their points last night. Yeah.
So he obviously is a tremendous offensive player.
Yeah.
But what are you going to
do? Just a quick note here on one of the guests that we'll have later on in the show when Cedric Maxwell is with us for his normal Friday appearance. Robert Parrish will also be on, and Robert Parrish mentioned last night in an NBA accomplishment.
And tonight, by playing in this game, Robert Parrish has been tied by that man right here, LeBron James, most games in history in the NBA. Something to be said about longevity.
That's a lot of games here.
How many games?
Over 1,600, I believe.
14.
He must have played 100 games already. But Robert Parrish will be joining us later on with Cedric Maxwell here on the program today.
Yeah, I heard Stephen A. Smith for a minute on the radio yesterday, and while I was taking my dog to the kennel, and I heard him talking about how LeBron James had dunked a certain amount of times in the games, and I said, in a game the night before, and I thought, what an interesting time to be talking about LeBron James on a national show.
Yeah.
Like, who cares what LeBron James did? What's going on here? There's actually games being played.
Who cares?
Right now, during this soliloquy, there's games going on. Now, if you had something interesting to talk about, not revolving around basketball, then I would listen to it. But since you were talking of basketball, why LeBron James? Why LeBron James in mid-March? I don't understand.
Well, we had talked about this yesterday, how the Lakers seem to be feeling themselves. Luka Doncic feeling himself last night.
He will equal his second highest scoring output with this free throw. 60! 6-0 for Luka Doncic.
Add 9 to that, and then we got a number.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying, Jack? Yeah, you have fun with that.
Doncic scoring 60 last night in the 134-126 win over the Miami Heat in Miami.
Yes, very exciting. You can watch them lose in the first round. All right, we'll be back in just a moment. Albert Breer will be joining us.
You're listening to Toucher and Hub. Essential Sports Hub headline presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Bruins shelled the NHL's defending Vezina and Hart Trophy winner last night. They beat Winnipeg 6-1 at TD Garden. Connor Hellebuck just won a gold medal at the Olympics. He was the NHL's best player last season, but the Bruins beat him 6 times in this game. That includes a goal for Lucas Reichel, who was just called up. Marco Sturm also saw at the other end. Jeremy Swayman had 23 saves in net.
Overall, we were under control of the game, played our game, scored 6 goals besides Sway, best goalie in the league. It's not easy. Guys did a good job.
Bruins will be in Detroit tomorrow night. As for the Celtics, they'll be in Memphis this evening. Granny and Max have the pregame at 7:30 and the tip-off at 8 here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. Grizzlies will be missing at least 7 players, including both John Morant and Zach Edey. On day 1 of the NCAA men's basketball tournament, 3 upsets. 11 seed Texas beat BYU 79-71. 11 seed VCU beat North Carolina in overtime 82-78. And the 12 seed High Point was an 83-82 win over Wisconsin. Red Sox beat Minnesota last night in Fort Myers, Florida 4-2. Brian Bayo 6 shutout innings. They visit Tampa Bay today. And the Patriots have signed Tampa Bay free agent defensive back Kindle Vildor. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by East Coast Metal Roofing. Never ever replace your roof again. It's East Coast Metal Roofing Spring into Savings event where Sports Hub listeners get 10% off the new roof. It is guaranteed to last a lifetime. Call 844-611-ECMR or eastcoastmetalroofing.com. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 7:30.
The Sports Hub. 3 legendary franchises on one legendary radio station. It's the Sports Hub. Fred, what's it like to work with Hardy and Wallach?
What a golden ticket I've gotten.
There you have it. Toucher and Hardy resumes on the Sport.
On YouTube, Bert Breer from MMQB is here. He's
Lots
here
of
for an
airport
hour.
thoughts.
Yes, indeed. As and there's a way that they could be paying TSA and just not paying the actual ICE. That was what the issue's about, but they're not paying anyone associated with Homeland Security right now. I know that there have been proposals to pay everyone but ICE at this point, so TSA could be getting paid, but that doesn't seem to be the highest priority in the world right now.
We're at war. Gas prices are sky high.
There's a different game
The
plan.
market was down 2%
effect.
yesterday. Yes,
Yeah.
there's a lot of things going on. TSA probably not at the head of things, but I do know from the limited amount of the news that I read, because I don't watch any of it, but the news that I read, that there have been at least proposals to pay TSA and various other Homeland Security operations and just keep the negotiations going for ICE. But for you know what happens in that Congress, there's a bunch of dunderheads. They can't get anything done. A
lot of red tape.
Well,
I just like how
they
people's
need a maverick to come in and slash it all
I
up.
like how people normal people's convenience is like leverage. That's all it is to all of them. So, yeah.
But it doesn't make anyone look particularly good. So I don't know. It doesn't seem like there's a lot.
But then
of
they just
blame.
start pointing fingers.
Yeah,
at each
but
other.
I don't even see that. I'm sure it's happening, but there's so much else going on that I
Right.
think that
Like
it's
way
not,
more serious
It's
things.
not a very effective tactic for anybody. And
It's just a lot of noise that people drown out after a while.
Well, yeah. I mean, like if you were, I'm sure somewhere, someplace, it's being hotly debated, but it's certainly not. If it's being covered, it's not anywhere that I've seen it.
Right.
I know that there have been proposals to pay TSA. And again, I don't know I don't know anything about how the government runs, but I do know that there have been proposals to pay everyone but ICE and then figure out the ICE stuff. And I don't know who's blocking it. I don't know what's going on. I don't know who proposed it. I just know it's been proposed. That it is a possibility, that it's not beyond the possibility of government to get in and go, we'll pay everyone except for ICE while we negotiate the ICE stuff. But I mean, I don't know how the government works. It's been a long time since they had Schoolhouse Rock on. And a lot of things have probably changed since then.
As a history major, though, at Rollins College.
Yes.
Weren't
Great Rollins College. Some would say the greatest academic institution in Central Florida. Yes.
Weren't you also tasked with studying modern forms of government and how that affects history?
No.
Okay.
Not to my memory. There's a lot of U.S. history. I do recall a lot of Civil War situation happening. But when you get to a college history level, and this is your own ignorance, but we can explore it. When you get to a college history level, it's a lot of theoretical, a lot of whys more than hows. You understand what I'm saying?
I don't. I'm too ignorant.
Yes, it's a incubation chamber for ideas.
A think tank.
I think
yes.
I actually think studying history is as an adult, I actually would like to go to those
Huge
classes.
waste of time.
now.
I agree.
I would like to go to those classes as an adult. When I was a kid, I hated it.
Can I suggest something for you? Throw in a podcast.
Problem solved.
You'll learn a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything.
Problem solved.
Science, history, it's all there.
You know what it's called, Bert?
For me.
Lifelong learning.
Yep. There you go.
It's funny. Everyone crapped all over liberal arts educations, and they're like, oh, it's a big waste of time, big waste of time, big waste of time. Now AI comes around. Oh, maybe it wasn't such a waste of time.
Marcy's been taking this class for the last few months, getting some advanced degree, totally online.
Yeah.
I get stress watching her stress about the amount of work that she has to do and what it's like being in school now.
Yeah, no.
Where they just pile on the work and they figure, well, you're doing it all from home and you've got your computer and you just you can accomplish all these things. Like, it is crazy the amount of work that she has to do for just this one certificate or whatever it is that she's getting. I'm like,
Emily had to do that for nursing certifications too.
Well, listen, join the diving team, and then you can get in, and it's a big party. Then you can pimp out your dorm room and put a hot tub in it and everything else. You can bang the English teacher.
As long as you have a 5'2" muscle man to follow you around, as long as you got Burt Young there to keep everybody in line.
That would be a plus to get involved in one of those teacher scandals.
Well, I mean, in college, it wouldn't be much of a scandal.
Less so, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I think still probably against the rules, but
undergrad, I would imagine that they turn it into a whole situation, even though there's nothing sexier than a well-learned professor in front of a room full of people charismatically instructing them.
Asking your
40 was with like a 25-year-old or 26-year-old. I don't know. What are you going to do about it?
Didn't Kelly Kapowski hook up with the professor and Saved by the Bell of College years?
Yeah, and
I think that's right.
And I hated that professor. And you've noticed he's done nothing since then. Yeah, Saved by the Bell, the college years. They had the Frolic Room, if you'll recall. They had a neon sign that said Frolic
Room.
The
other Golick brother was the RA.
That's he was, and he wore jeans
that
he wore jeans, belted jeans about halfway up his rib cage.
Is it Professor Lasky?
Yeah, it was Lasky.
Oh yeah,
I didn't care for Lasky. Yeah, neither did Zach, for that matter. He was trying to always undermine them.
Yeah, all sorts
that
of
guy's
problems.
gone on to do a lot.
Yeah,
Patrick Fabian. He was in Better Call Saul.
Yeah, big star.
Yeah,
he was in a lot of episodes.
Yeah,
you can hear the disdain in Fred's voice.
major character in Better Call Saul.
Well, I take it back. His career has been that show only aired 30 years ago. So since then, he's done Better Call Saul.
Yeah.
Right.
And The Last Exorcism. He's been in feature films.
There's something to be said about hanging around at the poverty level for 30 years waiting for your next break.
Right, and you get on a basic cable show. Yeah. It's very good. All right, Bert Breer, very exciting times here for the Patriots. What are we hearing about the A.J. Brown situation?
I think that this is really in the same place it was a week ago, and we're probably going to keep talking about it.
Okay, I have a thing. If obviously, if they want to trade him after June 1st, which is apparently something that's being talked about, for obviously the draft will be long gone by then.
Yep.
You'll be dealing 27 picks in 27.
Yep.
We know 27's a better draft. The Patriots are most likely not going to be picking 31st in the 27 draft. I think
they're going to be picking 32nd.
Yeah, that's right. There will be a worse pick. But let's take a flyer that they don't go back to the Super Bowl.
Oh, all right.
I mean, if I don't mean to be a negative Nancy, but only 2 teams get to go out of the 32. Let's just assume maybe that doesn't happen. That in a better draft with a higher, right? Like
a higher pick, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know because it's technically a lower number, but a higher pick.
Yes,
but a higher pick. I guess
you're picking sooner.
Yeah, if you were looking at the board, it would be higher up on the board. The higher pick. Does that? Because it's funny because I'm so dumb. It just occurred to me like the other day. Like, wait a second. If they trade him in June, the draft's already happened. So now we're dealing with it because the big talk was, of course, for AJ Brown, you give up the 31st pick in the draft. Like
is it possible though they could have an agreement? Okay, we'll select this, but we're really picking it for you. Pick number 31.
That'd be complicated because you'd have to work with them on the clock. It'd be one thing if you had the first overall pick and you're just picking it for somebody. It's just so far down the line. Mm-hmm. You have no idea. I mean, the 31st pick, you're gonna have no idea who's going to be
look
there.
At the Max Crosby situation. Like,
Right.
If we have with this deal in theory and then I make this pick for you, like a draft day, we've seen drafts, especially in the NBA where teams are just taking players for other people and then the pick goes through. But I mean, you trust for over a month to sit there with the kid that you didn't want under the guise of trading him away. That doesn't seem like something.
And then
that
the
would
off-season program has begun, and it's just, I these are complicated things to pull off, and I think a huge part of it is the situation the Eagles are in, where generally you can restructure and push money forward and put void years on contracts. The Eagles have almost run out of people they can restructure. They're at the point now where they've pushed so much money forward. I mean, they've got something like $300 or $400 million unaccounted for that they've already spent.
That's bad, right?
On the cap, yeah. So eventually that's going to all come and accelerate onto their cap. But if you get to the point where you've literally restructured everybody, then you're pinned in. And if a bunch of money is going to accelerate on A.J. Brown's contract, then that's a problem. I'm not saying they couldn't figure it out before. Then I think they could. It would just force them to do more cap gymnastics. And I think a big part of this, the bigger piece of this, is the compensation and the gap in compensation, and the fact that I don't think the Eagles have anybody else that is as engaged in this as the Patriots are. And I gave you guys the 4 teams last week.
Yep.
And my understanding is the Eagles did not want to trade him within the NFC, which A.J. Brown's camp knew, which is why they gave them, the Chargers, the Chiefs, the Bills, the Patriots. And the Chiefs and Chargers more or less had no interest. The Bills trade for DJ Moore. That leaves the Patriots. My personal opinion is the Rams were a stalking horse. I don't think the Rams, based on where they are, they already have an older receiver on their roster in Devontae Adams. And
by the way, just real quickly, Bert, the I guess assertion or declaration that you're not going to trade him within the entire conference, that's I get not within your division. I get not within a certain number of teams, but to me that says they want to trade him, but how badly can you want to trade a guy if you're taking away half the league?
Here's the thing, though, Hardy. You're also in rarefied air in the NFC if you're the Eagles, and there are only a couple teams that you would probably view as primary hurdles to you getting to the Super Bowl. Where are the Rams on that list?
Oh, they're right
way
up there.
The hell up there.
But that doesn't mean you have to exclude the entire NFC.
Well, but they needed somebody. I think they needed somebody as another, because I just don't think the compensation was close. What the Patriots were offering, what the Eagles want, that wasn't close. And so for the Eagles to get another team, for the Eagles to get a singular suitor up, they need somebody else involved. And I've thought a lot on this. So what would the Rams' motivation be for getting involved? There are lots of questions about Puka Nacua there. And I think Puka Nacua needs to grow up some. And it wouldn't stun me. This is my own pure speculation based on what I know, on where they are with Puka, the position they're in where they're going to have to pay him, and what he's going to command. And it wouldn't shock me if the benefit for the Rams here was, look, dude, like, we can replace you. So, yes, we want to negotiate a new deal with you, but, like, we're not, like, if this offseason goes a different way, then, like, we've got options. And the Rams do. Because
why
the
does
Rams
he have to grow up? I know there's the ping pong thing with that live stream.
There are a few, and look, like, I think between the lines, he's everything you want.
Right.
Absolutely everything you want. But there are just certain things where they need him to kind of become, to me, it's like part of what McVay sells there, right? It is, you are who your best players are. And they were really fortunate for a lot of years in that those players were Aaron Donald and Cooper Kupp and Matthew Stafford, and before that, Goff. And it's just they always had, like, when they took risks on guys like Odell, they had the right type of guys as their highest paid players. And so, like, I think they'd love to get Puka there, but I don't think he's there right now. And so, like, I think that there's a piece of this where it's like when you feel comfortable paying a guy, it's like you want him to be one of those guys, and I don't know that he's there right now.
Oh, so they could leverage A.J. Brown as leverage A.J. Brown as a tactic to get Puka Nacua on board. Like, you're not irreplaceable.
Right.
And
they
he
have
might
the
be
13th pick, and I think it was Daniel Jeremiah said this to me, and this is a guy I think the Patriots are really going to like too. This would be a big reach to take him this high. But Daniel Jeremiah called Omar Cooper, the receiver from Indiana, the Ramsiest receiver in the draft. Tough, physical, great blocker, unbelievable hands, good route runner. Like, I think Omar Cooper would fit great here too. So, like, I just think there's some moving pieces with Nacua. So, like, I think that like, if I like, my read on it is maybe the Eagles didn't have another suitor and they needed to get somebody else involved. And then you have the Rams over here. And I'm just telling you, like, I like, my feeling is, like, I don't know that after the Rams traded for Trent McDuffie and gave up all that capital to go get Trent McDuffie, are they going to make another trade of that level?
F them picks?
Maybe not.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, obviously, A.J. Brown is if he's healthy, a great receiver, but we just had another trade with Jalen Waddle it was Waddle and a 4 for a 1, a 3 and a 4. Does that affect the compensation that A.J. Brown would be due?
Oh, if I was the Eagles, it would only embolden me. And, like, how many trades have you looked at that the Eagles have made where you say Howie lost that trade just on the surface? He wins every one of them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so, like, I don't think we're going to wake up in 2 months and be like, oh yeah, they got A.J. Brown for a 2. It just does not seem like a likely scenario based on, now maybe it happens. Maybe A.J. throws a fit when we get to.
Well, he's doing everything. He's posting videos about how the Patriots were his favorite team, and he's doing everything to beg to be sent here.
So maybe that happens. Maybe it gets untenable. But I'm just telling you, I can't remember a single time when I saw the terms of an Eagles trade and was like, wow, Howie gave him away, or wow, that team got over on Howie. Like, it just doesn't happen.
And the Waddle thing doesn't change that.
I think the Waddle thing would only embolden him, right? Like, if he was asking for a 1 and a 2 and the Dolphins got a 1 and a 3 for Waddle, say A.J. Brown is a better player. Now, I personally, I may actually rather have Waddle.
I guess Denver wanted Waddle, right?
Yeah, I think Waddle I think Waddle might have. To me, I think Waddle's game might be more sustainable as he gets older. The thing I worry about with A.J. Brown is the knee, which that's part of it. But also, like, a lot of times big receivers fall off a cliff. Like, Larry Fitzgerald would be the outlier as, like, a guy who really lasted. But Larry Fitzgerald, if you remember, almost had to like completely reinvent himself.
You've
Like,
mentioned that before.
Yeah,
the
he was
route
a-
running.
Yeah, he was a big outside receiver, down the field guy. As he got older, he turned into a big slot. It's rare that guys do that, can pull that off. But if you look like your Andre Johnson, your Julio Jones, when those guys lost it, they lost it fast. And like so, the bigger, bulkier receiver who relies more on his physical ability, plays bully ball, a lot of times that guy, when they get older, can lose it faster. And so that would be my concern with A.J. Brown, where I think Waddle is a little bit more of a – you can do so many different things with him.
Yeah, I guess that they thought Waddle was better for their quarterback situation. That's what
I really like the acquisition of Waddle. Like I think Waddle for the Broncos, because they have so many complimentary guys,
Mhm.
Like they've got so many like 2s and 3s, like Sutton, Mims, Franklin, Bryant, the rookie last year, Evan Ingram at tight end, and R.J. Harvey and J.K. Dobbins at running back. Like they've got so many guys where it's like this is a complimentary piece, that's a complimentary piece. So now I think having Waddle kind of allows everybody to settle into roles that are probably more commensurate with who they are.
All right, Bert Breer will be in studio for the rest of the hour. We'll be right back.
IYKYK, which obviously YD. Okay?
Toucher and Hardy, mornings on the Sports Hub.
Can someone from the hip-hop station run around and dance for this to make Adam so he doesn't have too big a letdown? I have a feeling he's going to be taking a snooze by the end of the show because he got too excited when he was playing.
You peaked too soon.
Yeah.
What was the, I know it's a Boston guy.
It's NOG.
Oh, yeah, I know NOG. Yeah. Really the first Boston rapper of any acclaim, correct? If I'm not mistaken.
Because what's our boy left? He left Dorchester for New York City, Guru. If he stayed here, he would have been the greatest Boston rapper of all time.
All right, Bert Breer is here. Bert, just with the draft coming up, this is a general question. What is the first of all, what is the comp on Mendoza? What are people thinking that he? What's his ceiling?
The one I like is Jared Goff. Like I think if you watch him play, he's got like a really natural like stroke when he throws the ball, and he obviously was a difference maker for Indiana. Had really good players around him.
Really
too.
good receivers.
I mean, yeah, I think a lot of people look at that the wrong way and say like, oh, well, he lifted Indiana up. They had really good receivers. Surratt's really good. Cooper's going to be a first-round pick. I don't know if you guys have seen like the sophomore they had, Charlie Becker, like the tall white kid, who's I think got a chance to be a really good NFL player down the line. But I'd say like I think the way most people look at him is he's a worthy top 10 pick, but would not be the first pick in every draft. And so I think like if you took the last four, if you took the draft classes from like 22 to 25 and threw all the quarterbacks in it, I think the question would be, so I think most people would have Caleb, Jaden Daniels, Drake May as the first three in that 4-year
based on
block.
colleges.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I think like then it would be the question would be is Cam Ward or Fernando Mendoza next? So that would put Mendoza in front of Bryce Young and Stroud where they were coming out, put him in front of Pickett, put him in front of the other three kids who went in 24. So that's Penix, McCarthy, and Nix. So, like again, like a very good prospect. I think the question with him is the same as it was with guys like Nix and McCarthy, which is, are you going to be sitting there in 4 years wondering whether you should pay him? Like, he's a good player, but is he worth $75 million?
You said that about Mac Jones when the Patriots drafted him. Is that what you think?
And I think that's where you could wind up. Like, I think he's more physically gifted than Mac. I mean, he's 6'5", 236 pounds. So this is not Mac Jones.
Yes, right.
But he's also not Josh Allen from a talent standpoint. So, I think the question is like, okay, like what's this going to, and I think he's got a chance. Like, doesn't mean, look, Jared Goff, if he winds up being Jared Goff,
that's good.
That's really good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, Jared Goff has gotten two different franchises that, by the way, were awful before he got there to conference championship games.
Okay, so it's funny, Orlovsky.
Hardy's had a problem with Jared Goff for a while.
Awful stuck in my throat for a moment, but
all right. So Orlovsky,
looked like he was sucking on a lemon.
I know.
Yeah.
Orlovsky has been very controversial with his Ty Simpson take because he thinks that Mendoza and Ty Simpson are comparable, not comparable like in their height and weight
as
and all
prospects.
that, as prospects. But then he says that Ty Simpson reminds him a lot of Brock Purdy, which is, would you have taken Purdy in the first round? Purdy is like an interesting. He's in a system with an incredible offensive coach. How much, would you draft Brock Purdy or would you wait? What are you hearing about Ty Simpson? So the reason I bring that up is Orlovsky's comparing him to Mendoza in terms of their ability,
and he's saying he's not.
And then he's saying he's Brock Purdy, and you're like,
right.
well, that's not good for Mendoza, and that's also not a. If that's his ceiling, that seems like a pretty low ceiling.
And I think that's fair. And the way most people I've talked to are looking at this class is there is Mendoza and then maybe not another long-term starter in the entire class. So I would flip that and I would say, okay, so Garrett Nussmeier from LSU had a nightmare final year there, right? But he started a lot of games, and there were people who thought he might be the best prospect coming into this year.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the difference between Simpson and Nussmeier, you know? And that's where you sort of get into sort of these questions. And I think that's why, look, I think the Jets, the Browns, the Dolphins, and the Cardinals are 4 teams right now that are legitimately bridging to 2027 and saying more or less, we're going to wait.
You think Malik Willis, when the Dolphins got him, was as a bridge? Or do you think that there's a chance they think he could pop?
I mean, there's always the hope, but I think the idea is that he's going to be a bridge.
So wait, Cleveland doesn't see Shador as a long-term answer?
No. I don't think so.
I'm shocked.
What, not even Dylan Gabriel, you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, I like that whole thing. I can't wait for that whole thing to ramp up again and everything that, yeah.
Have you gotten any...
Now Deshaun Watson's going to be in the competition.
Oh, that's right.
Have you gotten any explanation of why they took both Gabriel and Sanders? Has any more information come out about that?
Yeah, I mean, I think there was a split opinion on Sanders, and my understanding was he was way up. Like, it was sort of one of those where it's like, it's a 5th-round pick, and he's sitting way up here on the board. Like, he's way above the other guys who are available. Let's take a flyer on him. I do think, it was weird because you do take Dylan Gabriel in the 3rd round, so now it's not like they had a surplus. I believe that was their last pick, too, which is a nuance to it where it's like, okay, we can't wait any longer. If we're going to take him, we got to take him now. But yeah, I mean, it did feel like for a team that was trying to restock all over their roster and get younger, which is what the Travis Hunter trade was all about, it was a weird move to take 2 quarterbacks.
And just, it's really weird because Dylan Gabriel's not like some home run kid, right?
No.
So if you would have taken, and you've seen it before, remember when Schuler was taken by the Redskins? It was the Redskins back then, Judge Caller, that called in yesterday. I don't want to be accused of my horrible racism.
Yeah.
But
Careful.
I mean, no, the Sammy Hagar numerology stuff just went right over his head. But making fun of Jaylen Brown for his numerology, very racist of me. But it's still bugging me. And so Schuler is taken, and then Gus Frerott's taken in the 2nd round. Gus Frerotte ends up beating him out, if you'll recall, and was a decent quarterback.
It was 7th round pick.
Yeah, like a decent quarterback for a minute. Birdie in the Trey Lance.
Kirk Cousins is taken the same year as who?
Griffin.
That's right.
So, whatever. So, that happens, but that's the example of you take a kid in the 1st round and then you take a kid later. So it's like I could have seen taking Sanders if you had him high on your board. Maybe if you had taken a quarterback in the 1st round and you said, okay.
Yeah, you don't often see the 2 quarterbacks later.
Right. And so that's
the
the thing
one I can remember that was sort of like that was, the year Aaron Rodgers became the starter in Green Bay, they took Brian Braum at the end of the 2nd round and then took Matt Flynn in the 7th round.
Flynn popped for a moment.
I had that one big game against the Patriots.
Then you talk about it. Then Seattle signed Flynn and drafted Russell Wilson in the 3rd round, and Russell Wilson ended up taking that job.
So it happens a lot, but not like that.
I generally don't hate that idea that you just keep throwing darts.
No, I know, but the point I'm making is that usually you would have a definitive kid at 1, and then you would take a kid with the idea of him being a backup, and listen, if he beats him out, he beats him out.
Right.
But the thing, what was so strange about what Cleveland did is they took a Gabriel in the 3rd round, which wasn't a home run pick, a little kid, a good college quarterback, but certainly not a huge prospect. So that's kind of like, you're like, okay. It was like in a part of the draft where it was reasonable but not expected. And then you wait 2 rounds, and again, with your last pick, you take a kid that is coming in with a lot of expectations that some people had graded as a top half of the 1st round kid. It's just why would you have not taken Sanders in the 3rd round? Do you know what I'm saying? It's just, your board is your board, I get it, but then don't take Dylan Gabriel. Like, how much higher did you have Dylan Gabriel than Sanders? If Sanders was so high on your board when you got to the 5th round, where the hell was he adjacent to Gabriel?
Some people there felt like maybe the coaches had pushed Gabriel to prevent Sanders from being taken later on.
Okay.
But I like that's again.
Was the
that's
owner
speculation
involved?
from other people there? The owner will like. So I don't think Jimmy Haslam goes in and presses buttons that way. What I do think he'll do is sometimes he'll let people know what he thinks or what he wants, and then people there will do things on their own. So I don't know that that's the case there, but that can happen sometimes there.
Well, that's good news. Does Woody Johnson do that just in 1 second? Yes or no? Does Woody Johnson do that?
Woody Johnson does lots of things.
Fantastic. Is he meddling now between Glenn and Muji?
I mean, now, like the first year, he generally stays away. The defensive coordinator thing, I don't know if anybody here followed that, but that was wild.
We shouldn't get into it, but yes.
I mean,
you think he was involved in that?
It was more, well, my understanding is they had that list, and it was like 8 guys on it. They wind up hiring a very inexperienced guy who might wind up being a great coach, but like Brian Dukers, who's the new defensive coordinator, he was a position coach on a fired Dolphins staff last year, and they bring him in as the DC. And again, like I'm not saying the guy doesn't have I think he's a bright young coach, but they had 8 more experienced guys they brought in for interviews, and I think that there may have been a little bit of an element of like, well, wait a minute, you've got like you want to hire like Wink Martindale or someone.
Well,
like
Wink
that.
Martindale, they dodged a bullet, so there you go.
No, but at what number? And then like. You're a defensive coach. What am I paying you for?
Well,
there was that sort of thing.
I would rather have Aaron Glenn as my defensive coordinator than Wink Martindale. I can tell you that. Wink Martindale. All right. Very good. Well, that's good to know. It's good to know you're rooting for something that's controlled by a madman that can't be stopped. So you're just paying money to be subjected to the whims of a lucky sperm.
And Brick.
Yeah.
Brick, too.
Good stuff. All right, we'll be back in just a moment. Here are the headlines.
Sports Hub headline. When it comes to the show, Hardy thinks the same way you do.
Nothing happened.
He's got the same questions.
Where is the story?
And the same opinions.
Boring.
And he's back with Fred.
About a month away from the draft, right? Because I'll be out of town for the first day of the draft, which I always am. Even though it's my favorite sporting event of the year, I'm always going the day after.
Well, no, I think, but it was just like last year and this year, right? Because usually it's only been the last couple of years that it falls on the kids' school vacation week, which I think is what you're referencing,
yes.
Right? So I think next year that'll self-correct again.
Okay.
So I think, yeah.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate timing, but that's
no, I know
what it
you
is.
like Fred legitimately loves the draft.
Yes, I do love the draft because again, has always been my Super Bowl. You have to, you always know if you have numerous high picks, even if you turn them into good players, there's a good chance that you will still suck.
Hope doesn't spring eternal for you, Fred. It springs for 2 days in April.
No, I mean they've nailed drafts and then turned around and sucked.
I will say this: the draft is legitimately, as far as just like our traffic on our site and like and I think the NFL would tell you this. It's the number 2 event to the Super Bowl.
Oh, sure, yeah. I mean, I don't think
it is a bigger event from an audience standpoint as far as like the level of engagement that you have during the run up, and like NFL people would tell you it is our second tentpole event. It is a bigger event for us than the conference championship games. And the reason why is because it involves everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Like everyone's team is involved. It brings college football fans into the tent. It's going to keep growing too. I mean, if you're like me, and I believe college football is now the number 2 spectator sport in this country, you're merging the top 2 spectator sports in America.
Now, having said all that, is there a more overrated live experience than the NFL draft?
Them being there? I wouldn't want to be there.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like for such an event for the NFL and the Super Bowl, everybody wants to go and they want to be part of that week. I would
think it would be way better on TV, don't you?
I've never attended a draft, and I would never want to attend a draft.
It's an unbelievable television event. Like, I don't know why anybody would want to actually be there. Like,
people do.
I could go if I wanted to. If I wanted to go, like, I could tell my boss, like, hey, I'm gonna like. It makes no sense for me to go.
I agree.
None of the team
I
people
don't
are
know
there.
why anybody wants to go to the draft.
Right. It doesn't make sense to me, but they've been able to leverage that too, and they turned that into an event. And, this year it's in Pittsburgh, which I think is going to give you some cool visuals because downtown Pittsburgh's actually, there's a lot there, and then next year it's going to be in the National Mall. But I don't know why anybody would want to go.
Unless it was at the Marriott Marquis.
It's phenomenal. It's phenomenal, like on television.
Yes, and so the thing is that obviously, if you were starting a sports website that was going to cover like everything, if it was like an athletic style, an SI type of website, one of the first things you'd hire is a draft guy that only did the NFL draft, like a guy that only did the NFL draft. That's one of the first hires you'd make.
This is true. When I got to the MMQB, so Peter King was like, you know, he could be stuck in his ways in certain ways, and he always he was like, we do too, we're cheating the system too much. We're doing too many mock drafts, because the reality was the easiest traffic play on the internet, if you're covering sports, is a mock draft.
Well,
everyone clicks on it.
I click on hockey mock drafts. I have no idea who any of the kids are.
It is the easiest way.
But it's got all the nuts and bolts that you need for a good online article. It's automatically a list. Yep. So, and they love the list. Here's the real question, Bert. Are you going to behave yourself this year with the draft?
With tipping picks and stuff?
I didn't even know if we're allowed to use that phrase.
We'll see.
Okay.
Oh, wow. What would you guys like me to do?
I would like you to misbehave.
I'll crowdsource this. Yeah. Maybe. I mean, we'll see. We'll see.
All right. At your own peril.
Yeah.
Suffer the wrath.
Got myself in trouble for that before, yeah.
It seems like a pretty easy fix if you don't want to get tipped off on what's happening in the draft, and that would be to watch the draft.
Yeah, right. Like leave your phone face down on the table.
Yeah. Sounds easy, yeah.
Yeah, it just seems like if you wanted to enjoy it in real time, that is a possibility.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know what it takes away from anything, but if you insist on being up on Twitter,
I mean, people who don't know, like the actual draft over the course of the night falls further and further, or like the television broadcast falls further and further over the course of the night.
Yeah,
behind the draft, and that's the league's fault because they want to create all these bells and whistles and all of that different. That's the NFL's fault.
The funniest thing about watching the draft is figuring out when the analysts know what the pick actually is, and then they start
and I've seen like reporters be like, "I'm hearing it's so and so, and it's been on the internet for 5 minutes."
Right, and then they'll really press on one kid that they know is the pick, but then they'll just for the sake of things, kind of casually mention someone else, and you're like, oh, you know who they're taking.
Got 8 minutes to fill.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, but they also have to feign ignorance, but you know that they know who's being taken, and that it's just all an exercise in just wasting time. All right, well, listen, they can't come soon enough because the future is now.
They take themselves very seriously when it comes to that stuff, so believe me.
But I love the hugs that Goodell gets.
The NFL, I've had, I mean, a few years ago, it was threatened that NFL security was going to come after me. And they were going.
It's like threatening the president.
They were going to smoke out my sources. I'm like, all right, buddy. Like whatever you think,
Yeah, well, you've ran afoul of the organization.
They take it very seriously. It's kind of it's funny.
Yeah, it's asinine. All right, Bert, thank you so much for the time. We appreciate it. I was always been very impressed by how Goodell knows how to shake the hands of young people. He knows the proper what to do with his hands and everything. Yeah, he knows exactly what to do.
Well, do you guys remember how that started? Because that was during the lockout when all the players did the over-the-top hugs, knowing that they were going to. The minute they got off that stage, they were locked out of their jobs. So it was sort of a sarcastic thing at first.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Yeah, so there were in 2011, the draft happened during the lockout, and so I don't even know if this became public, but it became like a thing where they were sarcastically going over the top and hugging the commissioner, knowing the minute they walk off that stage, they're a locked out player.
Was Goodell hip to that?
I don't know. In the moment. I'm not positive.
Because it doesn't seem like something he'd willingly play along with.
Yeah.
I've heard mixed things about his temperament from people that deal with him.
I did a lot of reporting on that. You guys saw my story in the fall on that. Like, he can take himself seriously. I don't think he's like a bad guy, but he does take himself a little too seriously.
Yeah, I heard he's not the easiest guy to work with. All right.
Four.
Bert. Thank you so much for the time, sir. We appreciate it. When we come back, the trial of the century is over, and we can fill you in on all the details now that it is complete. We'll be back in just a moment.
Stay tuned for more Toucher and Hart. Central Sports Hub headline presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
The Bruins lost back-to-back road games in overtime earlier this week, but they were back home last night. They've done really well there this season.
Zadorov to Zaka, back to Arvidsson, who's rotated out to the left point and got a shot through. Now Middlestead got it to Zaka, who scores! This line just keeps going. It's 4-0.
That is Ryan Johnston here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. Pavel Zaka, one of 6 different goal scorers, and the Bruins beat Winnipeg 6-1. They visit Detroit tomorrow night. Celtics will be in Memphis this evening. Granny and Max have the pregame at 7:30 and the tip-off at 8 here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. Grizzlies have already listed 7 players as out for this one, including both John Morant and Zach Edey. Luka Doncic, 60 points last night in Miami. The Lakers beat the Heat 134-126. At the NCAA men's basketball tournament, 11 seed Texas beat BYU 79-71. 11 seed BCU beat North Carolina in overtime 82-78. And the 12 seed High Point beat Wisconsin 83-82. Red Sox got 6 shutout innings from Brian Bayo. They beat Minnesota last night in Fort Myers 4-2. They'll visit Tampa Bay today. And the Patriots assigned Tampa Bay free agent cornerback Kindle Vildor. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by 128 Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric, the company that finishes every job strong. If your home or business has a plumbing, HVAC, electrical, or drain issue that can't wait, you need to call 128 now at 888-CALL-128. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 8:30.
Listen to it, laugh at it, get mad at it, agree with it, argue about it. It is Boston Sports. Boston Sports. And it is all we do. 98.5 The Sports Hub.
And now, back to Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
YouTube. Subscribe to 98.5 The Sports Hub on YouTube. This Afroman, he had that song Because I Got High, which I hated. But who knows what he's been doing since then. Obviously, he made a lot of money. He's got a Rolls Royce in a gated house outside of Columbus, Ohio. And in 2022, as part of a drug and kidnapping investigation, the officers of the town he lives in broke down his door. And they went through his house. They took a bunch of stuff. I mean, they returned the stuff. He alleges they took some money from him. But what he did is, after this happened, he started making music videos about the police. And they ended up suing him, which is kind of a bad idea because now everyone knows about the videos that he made about them. Now, we're going to play like the funny stuff. He did call like a few of them pedophiles, which I'm not sure the legality of that, but we can get to how the court decided. I just want to get that on, just so we don't look like we're just entirely taking Afroman's side. I'm not all for the willy-nilly just allegations of pedophilia that are unfounded going out. That seems like that could actually do damage to someone. I wouldn't want, when people Google my name, just seeing that, even if it says is not. Like, you know what I'm saying? I would prefer that not be out there.
Right.
But the best of his songs revolves around... Now, he has security footage. He had security cameras all over the place. He has footage of all the entire raid. And there's this fat cop that comes in and, you know, like at a diner, they'll have the cakes displayed with like a lid over it, like a glass lid over it. He has one of those, Afroman, on his kitchen counter. And the cop walks by the pound cake, stops, and looks down at the pound cake. Now, it's important that I tell you that the cop is fat because it makes the video 100 times funnier. So while the video of the fat cop walking by the pound cake and looking down at it, this song plays over it. Which would the best song with the video.
The visual of the cop walking by the lemon pound cake is perfect because... Yeah, he's in there. He's on a serious mission, and he's got his gun drawn, and he's going through the house. He really wants that lemon pound cake.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not overselling it.
No, he like looks. He's a fat guy, fat, not a particularly good-looking guy, and he looks down and he does like look at the cake. So the rest of the songs we'll play some of them, but they're kind of just outrageous. That song, in my opinion, is the best because it goes along with the video. that when he was going through the video, he saw the fat guy look at the pound cake and he went, I'm going to make a song about this. So that's that's my personal favorite. The other ones are outrageous, but that one I thought was the funniest. But here is a news clip covering what was going on. So these officers, they sued him, and here's a news clip about what was going on.
The rapper, whose real name is Joseph Foreman.
This Afroman, obviously.
The rapper, whose real name is Joseph Foreman, was the last to take the stand Tuesday. He followed 2 days of testimony from more than half a dozen Adams County deputies. They're suing him for defamation. Prosecutors say Afroman used security video from a 2022 raid on his home and put it in a music video using deputies' likeness without permission. The deputies also say Afroman called them thieves and pedophiles, among other things, on social media.
How did you feel when you learned that these posts were out there?
Humiliated. And when they call you a son of a bitch, that would be an opinion?
I'd say that would be an opinion.
Okay. Because there's no way we can prove whether you're a son of a bitch.
She's been dead for years.
If they hadn't have wrongly raided my house, there would be no lawsuit. I would not know their names. They wouldn't be on my body. They wouldn't be on my home surveillance system. And there would be no songs, nothing.
All right. So long story short, he was vindicated in this trial. It took the jury like 10 seconds, and they came back and they vindicated him. He wasn't taking it very seriously. He had a United States flag suit on. One of the more uncomfortable.
He looked better than Christian Barmore did in court. I'll get mad.
No sunglasses.
Yeah, I mean, well, he's not. Yeah, this is a civil trial. This is a little bit of a different vibe than when Barmore went in with white sunglasses on to it, where they were going to drop the assault charges on him. But those were felony assault charges. A little bit of a different vibe in that courtroom. Afroman kind of putting on a Larry Flint-like show for the people. And Afroman is making, I mean, have you thought of Afroman since 2000 or whatever? He's my age. He's 51 years old. Like, Afroman, it's been a long time. I mean, we were both men of 25, 26 years old when his hit song came out. I mean, both of us have been around the block since then. But it was such a bad idea to sue him. It was just a really bad idea. Like, it's like if you just kept it to like the pedophile thing, like then okay, but still you're like drumming all of that up. But you're mad. I get it. Suing for defamation is if you don't like what was said, like it's making fun of you and you don't like what was said, is not a good course of action. And I can tell you why. I was sued in Atlanta by a guy that used to work at my radio station in Atlanta. And he was working in another radio station, and he made a movie called No Witness. That was terrible. It had like Corey Feldman in it and stuff. Like, he'd put some money into this thing, and we had a screening of it, and I made fun of it, and he had someone transcribing everything that I said. And so he sues me for $1 million. We ended up settling. I gave him $8,000. It cost me $30,000 to defend. It was like a whole pain in the ass. But what happened is every insult that I had said on the air or at that event was thereby transcribed, given to the press, and it was a big story, a relatively big story in Atlanta, to media personalities, one suing the other. So all these insults I said about him came out, and they were just like insults about like him having back acne and stuff. I never called him anything like a pedophile. He's not a pedophile or anything. I never said anything that crazy about him. I just was making fun of him, and so everyone took my side. So like usually when you're suing for defamation and you're a public figure, they're going to take the side of the person that made fun of you. Best leave it alone. That would be my advice.
And if you're really humiliated by the insults and you don't want anyone else to see it, and that's the whole point of this, I can't believe this is out there. You're just putting it out there for everybody now. We would have never known about this.
Yeah, you're basically just suing someone because they have to pay legal fees. Now, if it's something like, I don't know, there's defamation lawsuits that I'm sure are very important and all these things, but I'm just talking about when you're being teased. And again, I don't think should be legal to just throw around the term pedophile at people. I'm not wild about that. But in terms of the other songs, like, we'll play one for Lick 'em Up Lisa.
Lick 'em Low.
Lick 'em Low Lisa.
Yes.
Where she's sobbing in court while they're playing it. And it was more funny than tragic. But here is the testimony of one of the officers. And I was actually on the officer's side when he was on the stand. I don't know if they get into the pedophilia thing, but There's this.
Randy.
Oh, this is about Randy Waters.
This is about one of the sheriffs.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, and then the clip after. Okay, I'm sorry. That's my fault. All right, here is a clip about another song about one of the police officers.
Randy Waters is the son of a bitch. Yeah, that's why I his wife and got filthy rich.
Again, I don't think anyone's under the impression that Afroman had sex with the man's wife. Maybe best not to sue for this. Let it go. Afroman probably has a very loyal but small following on YouTube.
It's a small gathering.
Right, yeah.
Seriously.
Maybe you don't need to sue him for this, so like they're playing it on Boston radio, but he does have to take the stand because this did go to trial. Maybe they were hoping for a settlement of some kind. Afroman refused. He had it go to trial. Remember, they lost this trial, so he has to stand up on the stage. This is all being shown on television and say this.
So you're claiming that is the defamation statement is that he said he had sex with your wife?
Yes.
Okay. And that's painted you in a false light?
It's caused tremendous pain in my life.
I'll get to that. We have to go through false light first. So does it paint you in a false light?
Yes, that my wife is cheating on me with Mr. Foreman.
But we all know that's not true, correct?
I don't know.
So hold on, stop it here. So this is obviously Afroman's lawyer.
Yes.
Because he's trying to set up the legal argument. It's like, well, if everyone knows that's not true, then it can't be taken seriously and you can't sue for defamation. So this forces the cop to say, I don't know if it's not true.
But-
He's got to testify that way.
Well, either way, it's weird, too, because if it is true, then it's not defamatory, because then he's not making something up. He's reporting a fact. Like, if you have sex with someone's wife and say, I had sex with your wife, that's a true statement. That's not defamatory. That's just it's speaking a truth. Unless you have, like, an NDA or something. I don't really know. What you say kind of makes sense, but if he said maybe he didn't feel comfortable under oath of saying...
All I know about this is from the People versus Larry Flint and Ed Norton's argument. It's like, it's a ridiculous statement. Nobody would take that seriously.
Okay, because if you knew for a fact they didn't have sex, to my understanding, then that would be a false claim that he's making. I don't know. Whatever. What do I know about the law?
Wait, you don't know if your wife's cheating on you or not?
You want to go there?
No, I just want to ask that question because you said we don't know. I just
Been
need
with
the
that
answer.
woman since middle school.
I know.
I would hope she wouldn't. But you know what? Once somebody puts it out there for their fun and entertainment, it's out there. And it's a problem.
So it's something we cannot verify the truth of? Is it a thing that can be verified, true or false?
Ask your client.
Okay.
I can feel that guy's anger sitting there. Steam is coming off that guy's head.
Right.
Man.
Yeah.
You can just feel it.
Well, I mean, Afroman's screwing with the police in his town. I mean, that's not, I don't know if it's the smartest thing in the world. Maybe it's a good time to move. Like, I don't think they're going to be, I think they're going to give you a breathalyzer if they pull you over and you have a couple pops, you know. I don't think they're going to let you go. We're going to let you go this time, Afroman. I think that from now on, you know, if I'm a cop.
Is that jaywalking I see, sir?
I'm not going to overstretch my bounds, but I'm certainly not giving him a break. And this is, if you've heard from the defense attorney, this is the prosecutor talking to Lickum Lisa.
Well, this is just, I think he's making an argument before the judge at this point.
Yeah. But is it about Lickum Lisa, though?
Yeah.
Yes, this is about her.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, okay.
So there was an it's important that I say this because I'm not being cruel, but there is an overweight female police officer. And it's important that I describe her this way because you'll hear Lickum Lisa. And one of the more outrageous statements made by a member of this cast that I'm thinking about suing about is today is that Adam said that the video was AI of the cop chasing the guy.
I think you should sue Adam for saying that.
I might sue him for stupidity and taking a salary under false pretenses, in that he just found another heavy blonde woman to chase him around.
No.
Adam was fooled. He thought that it was an impossibility in Ohio to find another fat lady. All right, but here is the prosecutor talking, or plaintiff's attorney, not prosecution.
Mr. Foreman posted that Lisa Phillips likes to have sex with other women. He used other words. She my ex-wife just like pizza. Eating blah, 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 over and over, thousands of times on the internet. People saw it, people laughed, people from out of state, but people here in Adams County would sometimes yell at her when they saw her. Hey, Lisa Lickumlow Phillips, that was his nickname for her.
All right, so if you're wondering...
First of all, I would object. No. We didn't say Lisa Lickumlow. We said Lickumlow Lisa.
Right.
If you're going to yell at her, that's what you're going to say.
Okay, and this is obviously an audio medium unless you're on YouTube, but we are not going to show it. You'll have to look it up for yourself. The video for Lickumlow Lisa, the song of which we are about to play a snippet of, is 13 minutes long and extraordinarily graphic. He not only finds one overweight blonde woman, he finds many overweight blonde women.
I did not know what I was in for. I was shook when I watched the video.
It's butting up against the standards and practices of YouTube, I'm sure.
Interesting choice of words.
And I'm not convinced that the women that are Lickumlow Lisa is with are clothed in real life.
But look, I watched it, throughout the course of my show prep, and I was trying to determine.
As I encouraged you to.
I know you said get familiar with this, so we all did.
There's one scene where I believe there is some clothing. I'm pretty sure in the other scene the clothing is not there.
No, there's not.
Well, and the one that Adam thought was AI, like an idiot, which is the only way to describe him. Please don't sue me for saying that. Is he is behind the stand-in Lickumlow Lisa.
Yes.
With the Janet Jackson cover of the Rolling Stone.
Yes.
He's massaging her bosom in one area of it. Adam thought he had created all these overweight blonde AI characters.
It was just the running part that I thought was the AI, not the rest of it.
All right. Shame on you.
Oh, I'm still ashamed. I just want to
Thank you. I want you to feel that way at least for a while.
Okay.
All right. So
I like this better.
So promise me till at least 9.
I like this song better than Lemon Pound Cake.
The song's better, but it's not as clever. Like with the song that you're about to hear on its own is a better song. Yeah. But the pound cake thing is the most clever out of all of them because he found a fat guy looking at the cake for a second, and he made a big song about it. And if I'm the fat guy looking at the cake, maybe you don't sue him. like I don't really have anything to stand on here. Yeah. I stand to win nothing in this. Like, could you maybe not sue him so I'm not just because there's no lawsuit there. You break into a guy's house, legally, but you break down a door and go into a house and you're on footage looking at the pound cake. He has every right to put that up on the internet. He can do whatever he wants with that. And he can make any song he wants about you looking at that pound cake and being fat, and there's nothing you can do about it. That's just the way it is. But this other stuff, at least they thought they had enough to go to trial and maybe win. If I'm the fat pound cake guy, I'm like, man.
You guys are on your own.
Yeah, please. I don't need any more eyes on this thing. I'm fat enough as it is. All right, here we go.
Lickumlow Lisa came to town. She ate all the all around. From Adams County to the 275.
In the video, he shows you he's welcome to Adams County. He's standing in front of the sign. Mm-hmm. He stands in front of the sign for Highway 275. It's a elaborate whole video.
Oh, the location shoots involved.
Oh yeah, this is not just him in the living room. He's going into adult establishments. There's everything going on.
Lickumlow Lisa, licking every alive. Lickumlow Lisa, Lickumlow Lisa. Like pizza. Sometimes she won't lick 'em low. Lisa, lick 'em low, Lisa. Like pizza.
So the song's about 7 minutes. The video's 13 minutes. And at the end, it's just an instrumental track and the fake Lisa doing a bunch of stuff. Mm-hmm. And I think Afroman at that point had installed himself in the video as more of a hands-on guy.
Sure.
And he was enjoying the experience so much, he just let the tape run and they put that out.
It's the director's cut.
Yes, absolutely.
Hey, Lisa Lickum-Low.
Yeah. Again, if I'm Lick 'em Up Lisa, maybe I'm not suing because now I've seen the Lick 'em Up Lisa or Lick 'em Low Lisa. I'm sorry, Lick 'em Low Lisa. I don't need to get the artist wrong. It's offensive to the artist. All right, look. He got off, though. And free speech wins again. And that's just my advice to you, the public. If someone's making fun of you and you don't like, and you're humiliated by what they say, and it's kind of contained to a local or a niche internet, by suing for defamation, this all becomes public and it gets out there, and these insults go worldwide.
And ironically, the question...
You want to go there?
No, you don't.
No.
Do not go there.
I'll just give you an example. When I was just looking up like the name of the county before we played the news click, I'm on the BBC, which of course the first B is for British. So in England, this story is being played, and Lick 'em Low Lisa is now at least being consumed briefly in Britain.
Lick 'em Low Lisa.
You do that, you don't sue him? Adams County. No one's really paying attention to Afroman. Today,
everybody.
It's on the
internationally.
It's on the national news. Lick 'em Low Lisa. Not smart. All right, but we'll be back in just a moment. Oh, Robert Parrish and Cedric Maxwell on together. We'll have that for you in just a moment.
More Toucher and Hardy next on the Sports Hub.
second.
Are you excited to have a guest joining with you?
Absolutely. I've known this guy since I was about 19 years old. Played against him multiple times and then played with him, and basically one of my best friends in the NBA. We're really best friends in life.
Oh, well, isn't that sweet? Well, listen, you'll be excited to know that he's talking about the great Robert Parrish, and Robert Parrish has a new book out called The Story of Boston Celtics' Most Enigmatic Icon, which is a challenge to every broadcaster to read, because enigmatic, not an easy word to pronounce. Maybe a little credit should be given my way for being able to pronounce that.
Nice job, Fred.
Robert will be on the Chief Book Tour this afternoon from 4 to 5:30 at Wellesley Books at 82 Central Street in Wellesley. Robert Parrish, hello.
Hello, everyone. How are you doing?
We are doing well. Do you know your friend Cedric Maxwell is on the phone?
I do now. No question.
Now, is he speaking out of school, Robert, when he says that you have been friends for this long, for this many decades?
Oh, absolutely. One of my all-time greats in terms of friendships. Cedric has always been someone that I have admired, starting in college, because just from an athletic perspective, and then when I got to know him as a person, first we were friendly, and then we became friends, and that friendship has lasted a very long time, all through our NBA careers, and after the NBA, we're still pimp tight, as I like to say.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Wow. Is that true, Robert? Would you describe yourselves as pimp tight?
Oh, yeah, close. Like Velcro tough, closeness. We are very close and personable with each other. I every time I interact with Cedric, it's guaranteed to be a ton of laughs, because he's just constantly talking trash about something.
Well, you know what? There was a good story to this, and the story was this year. I got kind of hoaxed, I guess, pranked on Facebook, and article was essentially talking about me and saying I was in the hospital and I was sick, and my family said, please, give us privacy and all this stuff. Well, Robert Parrish's sister reads this article and called Robert up and going, oh, my God, Robert, your boy, he's in the hospital and he's sick. And Robert ended up calling me up going, yo, man, he left me a message. Yo, give me a call back. I called him up. He going, damn, man, you just made my day by calling me, because I thought you were in the hospital. I said, no, I wasn't. I was good.
Was that surprising to you, Cedric? Did you think Robert would be more of a fan of you dying, or no?
I was more of a fan, surprised by his sister being the one that followed up like that. Because, Robert and I are probably not like his lady Esther is the one who is more like into the whole Facebook and all this other stuff. Me and Robert aren't. So we are almost oblivious to it. So when I'm sure that Robert had to get the news from his sister, and it kind of went on from there.
Robert, what was going through your mind when you thought your good friend Cedric was dying? Let's have a living funeral for him.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah,
we can eulogize him, and he can enjoy it because he's actually with us.
I am not an emotional person. Anybody knows me would say that. But when I heard that Cedric had a health emergency and was in intensive care, I got emotional. It messed up my day. I'm not going to even lie about it. And then when I called him and placed the call went directly to voicemail, which further spiked my blood pressure and my emotions. I'm like, well, it got to be some truth to it, because normally Cedric answers my phone call, and he's not answering my phone call, so he must be in serious health trouble. So I was all turned around, and when he called me up, you talking about a relief. I just like I've been holding my breath for the entire time. I just let out a deep breath, I was like,
I
yes,
loved it.
thank
I loved it,
God.
John. I loved it because I was actually out by poolside. I was having a margarita down there.
all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was something. But me and Robert have been through so much, playing, winning championships, and I said I've never been more proud of Robert. Not as a basketball player, I always was proud of him. I did something on my podcast yesterday, and we talked at length. But I said I've never been more proud of Robert as a basketball player. I've always been proud, but I was more proud of him when he had the whole thing, the whole marijuana issue, which went down. We all read about that before, and how he stood in front of the judge and said, "I made a mistake. That was me, and this will not happen again. Not on my watch." And for me, that was like, for the first time I saw an athlete take responsibility and take ownership of his mistake, and let everybody know that he was human, and that he could make mistakes, and that he was going to reign true with what he needed to do.
I'm sure it was a traumatic experience at the time of having to go through it. But Robert, does it seem kind of silly now? Just the way the culture has changed and accepted marijuana, to think that you had to go through all that?
Well, what it says to me that our society is growing more open-minded, more receptive, more inclusive. That's what today's mentality about the marijuana means to me. I have to say that whole experience with the marijuana was an eye-opener for me in this context. I was not aware of any transgression or missteps I may have. How many people it affected? I never looked at it through that lens. Not just the consequences I got to deal with, but my family, my friends, my teammates, the Boston Celtics, the city of Boston, the NBA. It affected a lot of people. So actually, even though it was public humiliation, but it also was a learning experience for me, because I realized any public transgression or misstep that I may have, it affects a lot of people. And I am very sensitive to that because of that marijuana incident.
And where he's on that side of being so sensitive about it, I don't give a damn. That's where I'm at right now. I'm 71 years old. I don't care no more. I'm like,
Cedric's high right now. He's on YouTube. If you watch him, he's smoking right now.
And good for you.
No, I'm just drinking orange juice right now in the morning. I go there. That's my thing of choice. But
that's what he calls acid.
I love, the fact that Robert has his book, and and I'm gonna give me a copy to read and have him autograph it. But the storyline about what he's done, and to know, for people to know him, and what he was talking about in the book, talking about a little bit more about himself. That's why I think that I'm so interested in reading the book. And I asked him a question the other day. One of the best ones I've heard was, we were talking about the fight that Larry Bird had with Dr. J. And Robert Parrish had made the comment before, and I asked him again. I said, "Robert, why didn't you get involved in that fight?" He said, "Man, I went over there, sat on the damn bench, and watched Larry get pummeled." I said, he said, because he talked about a negotiation that he had, and Robert and Larry went out of the way to say, "Look, if you don't want to play here, just give me the ball and get." And Robert said, "You know what? At that point, he didn't forget about it." And I asked him now, "Are you cool?" He said, "Me and Larry are cool as hell." But it was a funny line because I was in the middle of it. I grabbed Barkley around the neck and tried to choke him out. He was so strong, he just threw me around. But it was really a funny line, and it was very eye-opening what Robert had said.
So, Robert, at that point, you felt that, well, it was obvious that Larry Bird wasn't helping with your negotiations, that he was kind of diminishing you as a player, and you were kind of like, F you handle your own business at that point.
Well, I'm all about respect. And I feel like Larry did not show me any respect, because I always showed him that respect. And so for him not to support me and to respect me and to acknowledge the importance that my presence was on the team, I thought it was a slight myself. And so I took it personal. Even though I never confronted Larry about it, I never even mentioned it until that documentary came out. That was the first time I acknowledged that I was harboring some shit against Larry. Because I don't let shit go.
All right, you can't say that word. I know we're in the internet age.
That, but I get that, and my apologies.
That's okay.
No problem.
That's fine.
I apologize to everybody, but I don't let things go.
Right.
You know, I keep it, bottled up, put it over there on the side, and just let it marinate.
Now, Robert, I just want you to acknowledge that using those words, it not only affects you, but it hurts a lot of other people. It's just the marijuana thing all over again.
My apologies.
Thank you. Let's all learn from this experience.
I apologize for that.
Did Larry Bird ever acknowledge that maybe he wasn't the greatest to you guys? Like, Robert, you say you're cool with him, or Cedric said you're cool with him now. Was there ever a moment for either of you where Larry Bird was like, look, looking back, I could have been a better teammate or a better friend?
Well, he never said it to me, but he may have said it, privately, but he never acknowledged it to me. Me personally knowing Larry like I know him, I don't know if his ego would allow that. Not publicly. Yeah. He may say it at home.
Robert, I don't know, and this is what I'll say about this. And I think that Larry did it in another way. Like, we had the book signing. We had a thing with Dick's Sporting Goods store on Newberry when they opened the store up, and Larry was the one that pushed for myself and Robert to actually come on board. And to me, that is Larry's probably way of saying, look, you know what? Hey, I'm gonna help you guys out. Maybe things didn't happen the way it did, but look, I still appreciate it and acknowledge both of you. And I remember Kevin McHale was there also, and he said, look, guys, he said, we need to probably thank Larry because he was the one that put this thing together for us. So maybe that was Larry's way of stepping back and saying, look, guys, you know what? Let bygones be bygones.
If that indeed is the case, Cedric, I appreciate it because we all got our way of handling adversity, and that you may be correct. That may be Larry's way of saying, I am fallible. I made mistakes in the past. That just move forward from that and keep it moving. So I respect that.
No, it would be nice if he said something, especially, if he grew and matured. I mean, Robert, you talked about the lessons that you learned. It would be nice if Larry Bird could be evolve a little bit as a human.
After all, you did beat up Bill and beer for him.
Well,
I don't need an apology personally. First of all, I'm not the sensitive type. I don't need that. We're Larry and I are cool, and that's all that's important to me.
All right.
We're cool and we respect one another. So I'm all good.
Right.
Well, since we're doing this whole acknowledgement thing about apology, can somebody on that radio station apologize to Sean Grande?
Robert.
Yeah, Fred.
Hello.
All right,
Hello?
so Robert, if you don't know, Cedric does the games with a guy named Sean Grande, and after the Celtics won the championship, he started sobbing like a baby, and he was crying and crying and crying, and I thought it took away from the championship, and I thought that it was his last broadcast, and when I said that, Sean Grande didn't like it, and Cedric likes to have me mention it in every interview, because obviously Cedric likes discomfort.
So are you going to, here we are now, since do you want to apologize to Sean Grande on air right now?
For what?
That's a question to be yes or no.
No, I'm not apologizing. For what? He cried.
Here we go.
You should apologize for telling him to shut up.
You hurt a lot of other people when you did that, Fred.
You couldn't get out of there fast enough.
Cedric loved every minute of it. When Sean was crying, Cedric was like, shut up.
I have to go to the bathroom. That's what you said.
That's literally what he said, Robert.
That's what you said. I have to go to the bathroom.
This guy's carrying on and crying, and Cedric literally goes, I got to pee.
Kumbaya, man. Kumbaya, okay? Kumbaya, all right?
All right, so, Robert, I would love to have you guys on air all morning, but listen, it's radio, and Cedric gets paid for this, so he doesn't have any more time. But listen, let me tell you this: Robert Parrish, the story of the Boston Celtics' most enigmatic icon, which I can pronounce. See Robert Parrish at the Chief Book Tour this afternoon from 4 to 5:30 at Wellesley Books at 82 Center Street in Wellesley. Ooh. Are you two gentlemen going to see each other today, or while Robert's in town?
I might try to get by there. I'm not sure. I know the game's tonight, so I might not be able to get by to see Robert, but I have nothing but best wishes. I got a chance to hang with him the other day. We, myself and Sean Gradney had him on the air at halftime, and so he's my buddy for life. So whatever if he ever needs any help, anything, tell him that he can always count on me. Other than smoking the weed, I don't do that.
Oh, sure, that's right.
I will. You guys don't know, but I will be at the game Wednesday against Oklahoma City, so I'll probably get a chance to see my main man Cedric again.
Well, you'll have to go in the crowd because their seats suck.
You got to go in the corner. That's where they are.
Yeah, so get ready to sign some autographs, Robert. Because
go see Cedric at the game so you can watch the game on TV.
Y'all just won't let up.
That's not your fault. You do a great job. That's the greediness of the Celtics, as far as I'm concerned.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Thanks. All right. Well, listen.
You guys take care and continued success to all of you. And thanks for having me on your show.
All right. Well, Robert and Cedric, it was a great pleasure to have you guys on together, and we appreciate both of you doing it. Cedric, have a great time tonight, and you two have a great time when you see each other. And Robert, good luck at the book signing today from 4 to 5:30 at Wellesley Books at 82 Central Street in Wellesley. Thanks, guys. We appreciate it.
All right. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
All right, there you
take care.
go. The two good friends. Two good friends right there. All right. Here are the headlines.
Sports Hub headline. listen to Touch Your
Because it's a thing.
All right.
You know what I'm talking about.
Sure.
No idea what you're talking about.
Here's more of The Thing on the Sports Hub.
We are Toucher and Hardy. And it was nice to have Cedric Maxwell and Robert Parrish on, but they've maintained a friendship. Did you know that there was a hoax going on of Cedric Maxwell being sick?
I did not know that.
I did not know that either.
I had never heard that.
Seems like a fairly random thing to be putting on the internet. That the guy from the Celtics is now ill.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I don't know what that has to do with our new friend.
Lick 'em, Lisa. Came to town.
I can't get that song out of my head now. Every break, I'm lick 'em up, Lisa.
It's more the video for me. The Hardy, you're right. I wasn't sure what to expect, and then I watched it.
I did not expect that.
And no, I did not see that coming at all. So while the song is really good, and we are obviously an audio listening medium instead of a video medium, the video is something else.
Yeah,
to that movie.
He doesn't leave a lot to the imagination.
No.
He wants to show you exactly what he believes Lisa was up to.
In case you couldn't figure out what Lick'em Low Lisa was referring to.
Well, he takes care of that in the song too.
More than once.
No, it's part of the chorus.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
True.
She ate all the all around. From Adams County to the 275. Lick 'em low, Lisa. Licking every alive. Lick 'em low, Lisa. Lick 'em low, Lisa. You like pizza. Sometimes she won't lick 'em low.
I could see how you missed one, Hardy. It's in the background in the
It's that
refrain.
auto tune. Yeah. It's tough to pick some of them out.
It's like Marvin Gaye. He's tracked his voice 30 times in this one song. There's a lot happening. It's like pet sounds.
I wonder at what point during this process, when he didn't agree to settle, that she went, maybe it's best if this doesn't go to trial. Like, look, he's not budging. He's willing to pay his attorney. Like, this is we might not get anything. This might actually end up costing us money because of all the legal fees and everything. And also, this is going to make this an international story. Maybe it's best just to let Afroman's niche audience from a novelty hit from 26 years ago go away and not bring this back to everyone's attention.
So
you have to remember, this all was released like in 2022, too.
I thought this was like their idea of like a countersuit because maybe he had sued them over, some unlawful, search or something like that. But from what I found, he didn't sue the police department.
No. This is not a countersuit. This was them trying to get money out of him.
Yeah.
They're obviously not happy with him. I mean, there's no doubt I wouldn't be happy with him either. But someone should have gotten in their ear, I believe, and said, maybe it's best to let this die.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of like, it's not a lot of people know about this. I mean, I would imagine you have not thought of Afroman. I would imagine most people never heard of Afroman, and then you haven't thought of him for 26 years.
If you had, it hasn't been even running through your head for a long time.
And he might have like 1 million YouTube followers, whatever. Fine. The legitimacy of these numbers is questionable, but say even he does have 1 million YouTube videos.
Actually does have his 1 million subscribers on YouTube.
Fine.
Go figure.
But I would then make the argument that now there are maybe 100 million people that are aware of Lick 'em Low Lisa, because it's, again, I just wanted to have like a sentence to describe what happened to his house, and the first thing that came up was the British Broadcasting Company, the BBC.
Lick 'em low, Lisa.
And so Adams County, Ohio, I don't believe is gets a lot of coverage in the British media. So, maybe it was best just to let this lie.
This trial seems like such a bad idea on so many levels for the extra attention it gained. But as you mentioned before, Fred, one of the deputies sitting in court, and according to the article from Billboard, crying repeatedly as a video insulting her played for more than 10 minutes.
Well, that was Lick 'em Lolisa. Yeah, she cries like on the stand, and you're like, okay, like, and it's not working. Like, you don't feel sorry for her, really.
What is so bad about this? Let's play the entire thing while you sit here and watch it.
Well, I was thinking, don't they have to play it to like enter it into evidence?
Yeah, but they don't
right?
have to play it in front of her on the stand.
No.
Like they did that so she'd cry.
Right, so they
look,
could
I don't know.
yeah.
Let's not get sued ourselves because I imagine this could just go nuts. My assumption is that the defense thought it would be good. It's a jury trial to put the female police officer up on the stand, play the video for the jury while she watches it and cries. That's what I would imagine, and that image is going to lay it's going to garner the sympathies of the jury, which it took them about 10 seconds to find him not guilty. So, and I got to tell you, like in my own privacy, my own home, where I'm not putting on a show, I can have feelings for people, and nothing. Her crying garnered nothing. I felt bad for the guy that he called a pedophile. Now that. I'm not on Afroman's side. You shouldn't be able to run around doing that. And they weren't, and it wasn't funny. They were just like tweets about the guy being a pedophile, which he's not. It never been accused of. There's nothing in his name that should be associated with that at all. That was like kind of like, like maybe you give that guy a couple shekels. But again, if I'm Pound Cake Guy or Lick 'em Lolisa, I'm not participating in this lawsuit.
Pound Cake Guy.
Or the guy that said he banged my wife. I'd let that go, I think.
That's what that guy will be known as for the rest of his life. You're Pound Cake Guy.
Yeah,
I know you.
Yeah, you're Lemon Pound Cake Guy.
Wow.
You're the fat Lemon Pound Cake Guy that loved the pet cake while you were supposed to be going through the house. You looked at the cake.
All of his friends, his family, everyone he's ever known.
Well, now me. Now I know. And
I know.
Like if I'm ever in Adams County, I'll go, this is the place that Lemon Pound Cake Guy lives.
That's right.
All right. If I go to like a Blue Jackets game or something, I'll go, hey, look. All right. Look, we're way behind, but we'll catch up next hour. We'll be back in just a moment.
Mama's Lemon Pound Cake. You're listening to Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub. Essential Sports Hub headline presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Hours after being called up from Providence, winger Lucas Reichel had a goal and an assist, and the Bruins beat Winnipeg 6-1 at TD Garden last night. They're in Detroit tomorrow night. Celtics will be in Memphis this evening. Granny and Max at the pregame at 7:30 and the tip-off at 8 here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. On day one of the NCAA men's basketball tournament, a couple of surprises. Texas upset BYU 79-71. VCU beat North Carolina in overtime 82-78. And High Point, an upset winner over Wisconsin 83-82. Patriots assigned free agent defensive back Kendall Vildor. Red Sox continue their preseason today in Port Charlotte, Florida against Tampa Bay. Roman Anthony back with the team. He'll lead off and be the DH. And ESPN has a report at this hour that Basketball Hall of Famer Dennis Rodman will be inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame next month. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Blue Sky Restoration Contractors. Water damage at your home or business. Our guys at Blue Sky are ready to respond 24/7 and take care of everything from beginning to end. So visit goblusky.com. I'm John Wallach of Boston's Home for Sports 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 9:30.
Spectacular and deep three. Violent two-hand slam. Wow.
98.5 The Sports Hub. Fred describes himself in 7 words.
A guy in tights and a cape.
And Hardy with blunt honesty.
I am not known as Mr. Fun.
Toucher and Hardy continues on the Sports Hub.
Around
the NCAA tournament
with Toucher and Hardy.
A+. We are Toucher and Hardy. You can watch us on YouTube. Subscribe to 98.5 The Sports Hub on YouTube. Exciting day of basketball. I don't know how much everyone watched. I watched every minute of the Michigan State game. I will not be able to watch unless I can find something on YouTube or something. I won't be able to watch the game on Saturday because I'll be with my son in Florida at a spring training game.
Mm-hmm.
But unless I can find some way on my phone, because if I'm out of town, my cable says you have to be on your own Wi-Fi network to watch the channels, to watch live sports. So I don't really know what the hell the point of the app is.
You go to out of home and you can't find it there?
Yeah, it's not on the app. It says you have to be on the Wi-Fi. But
No.
I'd assume they used to have a March Madness app that you could watch all the games on. I'm sure I can find it.
I went to multi-view on the Xfinity yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
That was fun. So you can have as many games as you want. You can go 2, 3, 4. You can go up to 4. And then as you toggle back and forth, it automatically turns the sound on for you. Now, other customers of other platforms may have been able to do this for years, but this was a new thing for me yesterday. And it was driving my wife crazy because she was more interested in the Duke Siena game. And I said, it's over. That once it got to be tied, I was toggling over to other games. Michigan State was on. I'm like, no, we're going to watch this now. She said, what about Duke? I said, Duke's going to win. As soon as they got it to within 2, I said, it's over. It's all done. No, it's a Cinderella team. It's over. You don't know. I know.
I can't
no need
do
to
that.
watch that game anymore.
I can't multitask, but one guy who can, and I've seen it because his house was for sale, and they showed his famous office with the multiple TVs mounted on the wall. He had a theater-type room with only can be described as a throne. Seated in front of these TVs is a man by the name of Mike Francesa, and he had one thing on his mind yesterday, and that thing was silence. If you could please turn the sound down. Let's not interrupt the sound of silence, as they say.
If you're looking for local teams, if you're looking for, like, St. John's, they're tomorrow night at 7. If you're looking for Hofstra, they are... Where is Hofstra? Hofstra is. They are tomorrow against Alabama at 3:15.
It's true.
Jesus,
That Rivers getting their money's worth out of that.
Wow. Okay, so remember when we were talking about Mike and the Mad Dog? And I love Mad Dog, but I think he has a great show on Sirius. I think he's 1,000 times better without Francesa. But remember when I told you the first time I heard Mike and the Mad Dog, and they were talking about some like obscure or whatever, some boxer that was long dead, and they went to a sports almanac. It was like before the internet, kind of. I was on a beach, like listening to it on the radio, and I kept thinking I had lost the signal because there would be these gigantic lapses of conversation, and you would just hear a page being turned.
Yeah.
And I went, what the hell is going on? This is worse than what's on in Detroit. What's so great about this? Now, Mad Dog on his own is he gets to go on and on and on. He can talk. He can have the floor. Francesa's not not good on the radio. I don't know what's got it into everyone,
especially after Dog left.
That's why it's so. That was
like a decade, right? He hosted the show for a decade by himself,
and it was like it wasn't.
Well, no,
good. It's not even being mean.
You'd listen, but it was ironic that you'd listen. Like I remember telling you, I had to drive somewhere, and I was listening to Francesa read a hoodie footy pajama thing. I mean, it was fantastic. That was the thing. It was so bad. It was cringeworthy. You had to listen for that reason.
And that's why it's just so funny to me that these guys that used to be on, like Beningo, who did, it's not even Francesa saying it, it's Beningo who did like overnights. And I like Beningo, and I thought he was really good on the air. I like how miserable he is. He's about the Jets. I think it's funny. But like he's like, there's this, they'll never return to these glory days. And you're like, because media is so fragmented now. Okay. But that doesn't make these shows like that. This is, in terms of a quality of show, this like unfathomable hurdle to clear. In fact, I would argue that probably Boomer and Gio to an audience now are much more entertaining than Imus was. Have you ever tried to listen to like something that Imus did?
Yeah,
it's impossible to even understand what he's saying.
I used to listen to it live. He was here for a long time.
Yeah, steak.
Head up to Santa Fe, go see my brother's hat store. Quack, quack.
Yeah,
like they... Like he would, it was all like
sauce. It was all
this like stupid political humor.
I dare
like,
to have the hot sauce.
That's
We're
right.
gonna have the kids up at the camp, and Deirdre and I get them some boots. What's that? Quack quack. 7:42. Tuesday morning. Head to New Mexico. That's what I like to do.
If you're bored this weekend, play a game and see Imus hosting the press dinner that they do in Washington every year.
I've seen clips of that.
I've never seen
like Colin Jost just did it like a little while ago.
The
like,
correspondence dinner?
Correspondence dinner, yeah.
Okay.
And so like they have a comedian come up and like roast the crowd kind of. And like Imus is, I just see how long you can get through before you just go, I can't do this anymore, even ironically. So it saddens me when people retire, not get fired, but retire.
They wouldn't let me wear my hat, and I felt like a real jackass in that tuxedo.
Yeah,
Anyway.
he's from New York or Ohio, wherever he's from.
Put on a necktie, cuts off circulation of a man's brain. One on the radio.
That's eerily good.
No, it sounds just like him.
Yeah.
The only reason I'm not letting him go on longer or not encouraging it is because I don't know if anyone knows what Imus sounds like.
Yeah, maybe not.
Well, real quick, Gary, go ahead.
Hey, what's up, guys? Hey, if you want to watch that game Saturday, go on buffstreams.com. It's like Stream East kind of stuff.
Okay, buffstreams.com. All right, thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
I will do that. Thank you. I know that it exists. I was able to find the Big Ten Michigan State game that was on the Big Ten network. I like an old man, I subscribed to Big Ten Plus, which only had basketball and baseball and softball on.
Oh, there you go.
They did not have the basketball game.
Well done.
It didn't give me access to the Big Ten network.
Money well spent.
It gave me the access. So I didn't feel bad when I found the game streaming on YouTube. I didn't feel a jolt of any kind of remorse or that I was doing something naughty, since I'd given the Big Ten Network $15 essentially to watch wrestling, baseball, and softball. And I love college baseball. As a product, I'll go to it. I am not paying $15 to watch Big Ten baseball, I can assure you of that.
So there were some moments in the tournament yesterday. Let's start with the students in the Penn section who were chanting. We could probably kill the music. I don't think we need it, do we?
No, I don't think we need music.
All right. As they were taking on Illinois, is that who Penn was playing yesterday?
Yes. Illinois.
Yes.
All right. So Ryan says this was good. I can tell what they're saying. I don't think I'm going to like this.
That's okay. You're going to work for us someday. That's all right. That's okay. You're going to work for us someday. That's all right.
I can think a few things douchier than that. That's all right. That's okay. You're going to work for us one day.
Oh, I thought they were saying we don't have enough to pay. Oh, you're going to work for us one day.
Yes.
Well, yes, the University of Penn Sanskrit students are going to outperform those who went to the lowly University of Illinois. It's a complete fact.
Oof. Let's check in with the real Cinderella team from yesterday, and that would be High Point, who got the 12-5 upset victory over Wisconsin. And we could listen to the call on Westwood One or any of the networks, but what did High Point Student Radio sound like?
Down point. They launched down court. Anderson gets it. Throw on the glass slipper. It's a Cinderella story in Portland, Oregon. For the first time in program history, High Point breaks through. We will see you in the round of 32.
That's not
Mad
bad.
Dog.
That's not bad.
Yeah. Well, yeah, put on the Cinderella slipper. Yeah. One of those rare 12-5 games that you never see coming. No, listen.
Half the country
Siena
bet
beats
High
Duke.
Point to win have a no clue as to who they were or what their chances were. 12-5. I'll take the 12 seed.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's funny. Before NIL, like right before NIL, these mid-major teams were better.
Yeah.
A lot of times because they had kids that stayed for 4 or 5 years against teams that were all one-and-done kids. So you'd have Kentucky up against some mid-major, but the mid-major, look, there's only so many positions on a basketball team. And even at Michigan State, which is just the team I'm most familiar with, like Barry Sanders' kid's on the team. He's not on scholarship. He got in at the very end of the game, like the very 30 seconds left of that game. He's like a little point guard. He's not good. He's not nowhere near good enough to play. So if I'm getting recruited and Tom Izzo goes, I'll take you, but there's like, I'm not going to give you a scholarship. But another team says, okay, you're going to play right away and I'm going to give you a scholarship and you stay for 5 years. Like they could get good kids. But the thing that was weird about Wisconsin losing to High Point, and I don't know anything about High Point, when there's like a real like middle of nowhere mid-major team, because you have to remember these are still D1 schools. These kids are good basketball players. But you know it, Brian. Like they're kids that are like would be the best player at any high school in any conference around here that are playing for mid-major teams. It's impossible to make a D1 basketball squad because there's just not enough positions.
Yeah.
So Michigan State played North Dakota State yesterday and they killed them. And here's what is why the Siena thing is so weird and why Boozer, the really good Boozer kid, not playing better than he did is so strange to me, is because there's a guy on Michigan State, Cohen Carr, who per pound in terms of size and athleticism might be the best athlete in D1 basketball. It's not an outrageous statement if it's not true. It's certainly up there, but he can't shoot or really dribble. So, but he's the most explosive big kid I might have ever seen. And look, most games he's, 9-10 points. Like, he's out there for defense and rebounding.
What do you have, 17 yesterday?
Yeah, because there's nothing they could do about it.
Yeah,
like
and they're all in the paint.
Right. Yeah. He can't. He made a 3 last night, but they're all dunks. He can jump legitimately. Fears can just throw it up over the backboard and he can get it.
Right.
Just watch highlights of the kid. He's got the best highlights in basketball. But yesterday there was nothing they could do. If he got the ball anywhere near the low block, he'd just spin and go up.
And Fears was great yesterday. He didn't score a lot, but he had 11 assists, and he was doing what he had to do.
Yeah, they have a 7-foot kid that's not going to play in the NBA, but he's a good athlete that you can just throw the ball up to. And Carr, against real good competition, is not going to show offensively in 99% of the games, but there's nothing these kids can do. That's the difference, really, is that if you're watching these games, everyone shoots the same, the coaching, whatever. The difference between these mid-major schools and these D1 schools is just that quality of athlete, which is why, John, when you were talking about the Siena game, I found it so interesting that Boozer struggled the way he did.
What we said at the beginning of the show, lack of explosion. I mean, that's the thing. He was very much in control of the game. He got to where he wanted to go, and he handled the basketball for the last 5 minutes every time down the floor, but no explosion in his game. And if I'm an NBA talent guy and I have a top 5 pick, I don't know if I necessarily draft that kid.
I tell you what, to watch an entire team, first of all, be very cold shooting, but it seems almost impossible to look past an opponent. It's such a cliche. And for someone to think it's going to be easy, it's going to be a cakewalk. And Boozer said it after the game.
We came out here with the mentality that it was going to be handed to us, and obviously that's not what happened. But we got punched in the mouth, so we just got to learn from it going forward.
Like,
I don't know how you do that.
There's been how many 16-1 upsets? One?
Two.
Yeah, Virginia lost 1 year.
And then Purdue lost it.
Yeah.
There's been a couple of, 2-15s. Unfortunately, Michigan State was one
Middle
of those.
Tennessee State.
Yeah, but it can happen. So how is any coach or any group of kids, especially as experienced and as poised as the Duke kids are supposed to be, go in there with the attitude that Boozer just admitted to? We thought it was going to be a cakewalk, and we got punched in the mouth. And we got caught flat-footed, and we got caught on a bad shooting night, and we really had to buckle down and rely on Siena having to play their starters, every single one of them, all but about 10 seconds when someone finally subbed in at the end of that game.
Yeah, I mean, you should double them up in rebounds. You should double them up in offensive rebounds. You just have such a size athletic advantage. The way you lose these games generally is that a team just slows the game down and is red hot from three. That's what happened to Michigan State in that Middle Tennessee State game. They couldn't miss anything. I mean, they got destroyed in the second round because they weren't making 68% of their three-pointers, which they were doing against Michigan State.
The reason why High Point won yesterday. They had one kid who lit it up from three. He was their three-point specialist.
And you should be trading 2 for 1s, two for 3s at that point. And look, you can lose the game that way, but you should be scoring and you should be getting second, third chances because there's no excuse not to be rebounding in these games. And that was the only thing about, like, DeBonza took over his game and they were playing Texas. I mean, that's a real, that's not a mid-major, obviously. But DeBonza took over his game. I take it, Kansas plays, they play, I can't read anything, Northern Iowa today. Or no, Kansas plays Old Baptist.
Take your time.
Yeah, right. I didn't want to take any time because I didn't want to repeat Francesa. But they're playing Old Baptist or something. I got poor eyesight. But, like, I guarantee you Peterson goes off today. Like, there is no way he doesn't. At least athletically, right? He might not shoot from the field.
I don't even know where California Baptist is.
Okay, California Baptist.
Whatever. I wasn't doing that.
No, I know. I don't know where it is
I don't
either.
know where it is in California.
But, like, I guarantee you if you watch that game today, Peterson can do whatever he wants offensively, right?
Yeah.
And the only way that they would win that game is if California Baptist goes off from three and slows the game down. But he'll dominate. DeBonza dominated yesterday. Boozer didn't. And I saw Boozer dominate Michigan State. It's the great, I guess you want a cliche? It's the great thing about the tournament because I actually don't understand how you can get a kid that good and that physical. Like Boozer's is the size of a NBA player right now.
And I don't understand how the coach of that team or any other team says anything in the locker room before a game or leading up to a game other than do not think for a second this is going to be easy.
Well, Izzo didn't pull his starters, and they were up 23.
Right.
And I was like, why is he not pulling them? And then they got it to within, like, 14. And, they ran off 7 points in a row, and there's, like, 4 minutes left in the game, and you're like, okay, now I know why he kept his starters.
You got to go out there and play in as hard and as smart and as tough as if we were playing Michigan or Houston or anyone else. And how Duke didn't have that attitude yesterday, I don't know.
Well, it's strangely, Kendra talked about it a little bit. It's true. It's that, you're still a freshman. Like you get into this tournament game and it's, you're still a freshman, you're still a kid. And that's where the problem lies. But I mean, there's no, Colin Card, all dunks. I mean, there's nothing they could do. And that's Colin Card. He's not going to play in the NBA. All right. We'll be back in just a moment with our award-winning email segment.
You're listening to
Email bit. We should do the email bit. It's a great idea. Let's do the email bit.
We will do the email segment. Don't you worry. I know everyone's chomping at the bit. Where's our email segment? We had a good show today, so I would assume good emails.
We do have some good emails, yeah.
Well, I had so many. I love our audience. I had so many people defending me over the very the heretic that called.
Mm-hmm.
To say that we, not just me, we as a show had been collectively trashing Jaylen Brown, which is just asinine. I did not care for that. It's still bothering me because I don't like being accused of something I didn't do. I'll take the heat if I did it. I don't like being accused of something I didn't do. And that I don't like. So there. So you got that going for you. All right, but first, let's do something good. The Pete Frates Foundation for ALS Research and all is one of the great local organizations. It's a worldwide charity, but it's based right here in Boston. Mike, hello.
Fellas, how we doing?
We are doing well. I'm very excited. I'm headed to Florida today, but I will be back in plenty of time. Tell the people what's going on.
I love it. It's going to be great to have you on the bench. So
you'll notice the bench,
Saturday.
for I will not be skating, for I do not know how to skate. Yeah, there will be no clown show of Fred Toucher, no matter what the cause. Go ahead, man.
Oh, I didn't tell you. I didn't tell you we're putting you in goal. You're going to take some slappers.
As long as I'd rather do that than put skates on, dude. If you put me in the goal barefoot, I'll stand on the ice. If you put pads on me, I'll let people take shots at me. If I put skates on, I'm going to look the fool. All right, go ahead, my friend.
So we'll avoid that this time, anyways. But next Saturday, the 28th, we have our annual Ice ALS game, putting on conjunction with the Bruins alumni team and the Ray Borg Foundation, and it's a fantastic event. So we have a charity team that plays some of the absolute legends from Bruins past. Ray Borg will be captaining the team. We have guys like McQuaid's coming out, Tuca, and there's word that we might get a couple of recent, Boston Legend retirees. Can't name names, but you could assume,
Oh yeah,
you might be able to figure it out.
Ooh.
Connect those dots.
All right, I like that.
Yeah.
Now, is someone going to go full? Is someone going to go full Missoula, coaching up one of these teams, and just make it a really unfun affair and start checking people? And
there's always one guy
trying to hurt the other team.
Mike, I don't know if you remember, but when the Celtics, Missoula had the idea that the annual media game would just become an embarrassing sideshow of the coaches destroying the media. Hardy wants to know if you'll be doing that because people will come either way. But
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah, hey, it's not off the table. Who knows?
Yeah,
who knows?
And if you get the wrong alumni, and I was on skates, you get a guy put high elbow on me, and I don't need that either.
Yeah.
I'm a lover, not a fighter. All right, so so this is at Warrior Ice Arena. It's on the 28th.
Correct.
I will be there. It is obviously all for ALS. It's all for the Pete Frates Foundation. How do people get tickets, Mike?
So you can go to iceals.com. It's very cheap, affordable tickets. It's a great family-friendly event. We have a family free skate before where you can join the ice with Bruins legends, pictures, autographs, the whole deal. We'll have a lot of ALS patients in the house and, some amazing auction items, some coming over from this past Olympics, some, autograph stuff and memorabilia. But yeah, doors open at 1:30. Free skate starts at 2, and the game will start shortly after that.
All right, well, listen.
It's a great venue for it, too. You have a proper game in there, but also kind of intimate, and you'd be able to get up close. That's good.
Yeah, I'd imagine that the veterans and the ex-players are going to be pretty friendly with the audience in this atmosphere. I think that it's kind of like a spring training vibe where you can get your stuff signed and things like that. And Mike and I are becoming, I dare say, friends.
Oh.
We're texting socially.
Look at that.
It's a whole situation. Don't worry about it. That's between Mike and I.
That's pretty
All right.
rare.
So it really is. So listen, the Frates Foundation, international charity, but based here in Boston. The Bruins, the BC, everyone's involved with it. It's a great, phenomenal charity. Mike does incredible work. So this is Ice ALS, Warrior Ice Arena. That's going on March 28th. You can get your tickets now. Mike, anything you need, my friend, we're there here for you. So just let us know.
I appreciate it. Same for you guys.
All right. Thanks, Mike. We
Thanks.
appreciate it. There you go. The great Pete Frady's Foundation. All right. The Toucher and Hardy email segment is powered by Jeffrey Glassman Injury Lawyers. If you've been hurt in a car or work accident, you got to get Glassman. Don't just send an email. Call all sevens at 617-777-7777 or visit gottagetglassman.com.
Frank, having to resend this one, Fred, you and I think we missed it the first time around. He said, in the spirit of March Madness, could we put together a bracket of ass cheeks that Waldick wants to be smothered by? A matchup between Serena Williams and Queen Latifah. Will there be a first-round upset featuring Meryl Streep, circa the 2009 rom-com It's Complicated, going against Nicki Minaj? Is Angela Bassett on the bubbles, so to speak? Could you put her up against Anna Nicole Smith? There's a lot of different ways you could do this. John, would you be interested?
Prime Anna Nicole Smith is not in this competition.
No. You got to go later years.
Yeah, right before she died.
But also like 80s Meryl
She's dead. I didn't do it.
Yeah, early 80s Meryl Streep
I don't
wouldn't be in
remember
it.
that.
But you go 2009.
Oh, is she big bottom now?
Well, yeah, she's just. I never
You know who she's dating? Who she's dating?
No.
Marty Short.
Oh, yeah.
How about
Martin
that? Short.
Yeah,
I've made the decision that Martin Short is my favorite comedic actor of all time. I made that decision a couple days ago.
Now, have you even bothered to sit through all of Clifford?
I've not I've sat through a Siena on Instagram. It's the dude from the Best Show's favorite movie. He has like screenings of it. I wonder if he had to pay for half.
Charles Grodin?
I'm aware of Clifford.
Okay. Well, you need to watch Clifford.
Did you like it or did you hate it? Because I know it goes.
I
either
can
way.
tell you the answer to that. That's easy.
I unironically and unashamedly love the movie Clifford.
Oh.
Okay. And for you to call Martin Short your favorite comedic actor, not having seen Clifford, that's a foul.
Well, I
You need to
apologize.
watch
I can only apologize. But did you know this? Martin Short was the first choice for the Jeff Daniels role in Dumb and Dumber.
Oh.
He turned it down.
Yeah, I think it's beneath him.
And I don't think he would have been as good
No.
because they needed someone incredibly understated to go against Jim Carrey, who's become one of the smartest people. They show videos of Jim Carrey in rehab. Kaboom. He's very into meditation. All right, let me tell you this. Mark says, we had Max on today, Cedric Maxwell, with his friend Robert Parrish. Robert Parrish got a big book signing in Wellesley today. And we had them both on together. And Robert was telling a story, or Cedric was telling a story about how Robert had reached out because he had read online that false reports that Cedric was gravely ill. This is called Unintentionally Funny Chief. I thought it was funny during Max's living memorial when someone asked the chief about finding out about Max having health troubles. He said something like, "Threw my whole day off." Hilarious. Not, "Life will never be the same," or something like that. Like, I just started to pray for my friend. Nope. Max is ill. There goes another Tuesday down the drain. I did think it was funny, too, but I didn't want to interject too much because Cedric was all excited. I wanted Cedric to be able to talk to him. None of us wanted to interject too much. But I did notice that as well. I did think it was funny that he was like, "It ruined my whole day." And you know Robert Parrish's personality, if Cedric was like, "He called me." And you're like, well, yeah, he thought you were going to die. Like, he called you, your friends. Apparently that wouldn't be something that's in his wheelhouse.
Sarah and Everett has an interesting question. Try not to
I'm
take
sure.
offense to this, Fred.
Well, I'll
Or
do
I
my
want you,
best.
or think about it for a moment before you answer. Would it be enigmatic to suggest that Max does not know Hardy or Fred's name, but only John's? I would never confront Max on the air, but as a listener and a gambler, 10-1 odds, Max has no idea their names or the show name. Now, I know for a fact, well, I shouldn't say a fact, there was a time not long ago when Max did not know my name. This was when I was on the midday show, and he referred to me as the guy in the hat who was saying something that he didn't like. Like I was Curious George's handler.
That's right.
Okay.
So
yeah.
There's definitely a chance he doesn't know my name.
Okay.
I would say it's likely he doesn't know my name.
I will say this. I know for a fact Max really enjoys doing the interviews on this show. I know that he actually looks forward to it, which is not his personality. So that is a feather in everyone's cap. I also believe that if I went to a Celtics game, or if I did, I would choose to stay away. But if I went up to that table, there's one man there that would recognize me, and that's by the man by the name of Sean Grandy. Not the one I'd want to recognize me.
Thank you.
I don't think Cedric Maxwell would have any idea who I am. By the way, I think Grandy's a good play-by-play.
I think you know that.
Which if I was him and someone said, you did something embarrassing, which I've done plenty of, but they said he's great on the radio, the great on the radio would supersede any insult about my things I've done in my career. Like if you attacked me as a parent or something, saying I'm great on the radio wouldn't help that. But if you went, Fred sounded wasted on the radio one day and they had to take him off the air, a true story. But you went, like what a clown. But listen, he's great on the radio. But that day he was a fool. Then you supersede, in my mind, by saying I'm great on the radio, you've superseded the particular insult of one day on the radio.
Loop around and find out.
I don't care for that, but nonetheless, it's not his biggest sin. All right, we have to break. And then I'm off with a son I'm not sure wants to go on vacation with me.
Oh, come on. That's not true.
He's got the carrot dangling at the end of his time with Dad, spending time with his team. If it were the other way around, I think you'd be in real trouble. But the fact is, he's got something to look forward to post-vacation.
Well, he
Dad.
does. Yeah, but the thing is that if he is indeed not looking forward to this, which I'm on the fence about, this would be the first time, to my knowledge.
Have you checked and see that he's packed everything correctly?
That's his mother's. That's his mother's operation.
Have you checked with your ex-wife to see if everything's packed correctly?
I trust. I mean, I was over there yesterday. I trust that it's all getting done. But
what are you going to do? What did you forget?
Right.
It's like there's really no way of checking.
Like that's like incredible. Like I got to manage this. I can't just go, hey, Stephanie. Like I'm sure you made a mistake. Let me see. Like you know what I'm saying?
Hey,
like,
you dingy broad.
It's not her fault either. He's almost 18. Like he should be able to pack his bag. Like he knows what he needs. She gave him. I know she printed out a list and gave it to him, but it's not really her responsibility nor mine to make sure that he's packed correctly. And don't worry, he'll just have me go to the mall or something if he forgets something. All right, but you can't forget a mitt because you can't break one in quick enough. All right, we'll be back in just a moment. Here are the headlines.
Sports Hub headlines. Presented.
individuals who seek acceptance, respite, and care.
98.5, the Sports Hub. We know what you're thinking. What could I possibly have missed from the show?
Ready?
It's time for The Stack on Toucher and Hardy.
Hey, we are Toucher and Hardy. Hardy, what's going on?
For the things to do in Boston this weekend for Adam 12, Adam 12 actually has something.
Oh, yeah, so I was going to say, Hardy, I don't know that I'll be doing anything this weekend because I'm preparing for a big event. On Wednesday at Woburn High School will be our 20th annual College and Transition Fair, which I've been helping organize for the last decade or so. The fair is geared towards students that learn differently, so there's a lot of post-high school services and schools that provide those services for kids, but it's open to all. There's a whole lineup of great schools and programs, so I encourage you to come to the Woburn High School on Wednesday from 6 to 8 p.m. If you just search Woburn College Fair, you can get all the details there. Thank you, Hardy.
But 12.
Yes.
Yeah, now the things we can make fun of.
You do that. How are you going to be able to attend the BWM Women's Month Market?
What's BWM stand for?
No one knows. Join us at Timeout Market for Women's Month celebration where you shop incredible women-owned small businesses offering handmade jewelry, candles, self-care goods, artwork, and more.
Well, I might have to make an exception for that. That's definitely up my alley. I like that Timeout Market.
And also, how are you going to be able to attend the Boston Public Market Fiber Fest? You visit Fiber Fest tomorrow and Sunday for a 2-day celebration of New England fiber artists and farmers.
Yeah.
At this
it's like Warhol's pea painting.
free festival, guests can browse through all the fiber art and goods the festival has to offer.
That's even beyond my. I think it's a bit of a stretch even for my hippie ass.
What's a Fiber
I don't even know
Fest?
what that is.
All right. It's excretion Wednesdays.
Okay. Okay.
You load up on fiber, and the next day, party time.
I wish I had the Brule clip. What goes in the hole comes out the hole.
Yes.
Scott Zolak is here. You guys, you're going to be. Were you tournament watching yesterday while you were trying to do the show?
A little bit, like here and there.
Who do you like? Who do you got in your bracket, Scott?
I don't do brackets.
Oh,
the afternoon show, they're very against the bracket thing. They're old guys. But
now, why is that? What is their problem with people
it's like,
doing a bracket?
It's like too much. I don't know because it's amateur. They only do pro sports.
They don't like the draft. They don't like the bracket.
Anything. But they have Barthen to talk like 2 hours on the draft the other day, and then just make fun of him, like because he knew which players they were talking about.
I like talking about this because I just think it's funny when something in sports is being described as nerdy, but yet the hours and hours and hours of dissecting games is somehow cool.
And making fun of the Celtics shooting percentages. This thing Adam's going to. Is this like when Michael Scott went to the fair at school with the Dunder Mifflin and Pam had to run back and get a piece of paper and Jerome Bettis was there signing?
Oh, I know.
And then he made fun of the military guys there. He was getting escorted out.
That is one of the truly impossible episodes of The Office to get through because
it's a good one.
It's a great one.
Dinner Party was on again the other night. When Mr. Brown was in, that was on. That was a good one.
I'm having trouble getting through The Office like the 9th time. Seinfeld, I don't have that problem.
I just keep going. I do it with Sopranos. I just repeat and repeat and repeat.
I can't get past the first Sopranos. I've tried to rewatch Sopranos, and the one with the ducks, I'm just like, ugh.
When they go to Melfi, I turn it off. I fast forward it.
I do the same thing, and Beetle thought I was an idiot. When you get to the long Melfi scenes, I fast forward.
Give me to I need them shooting people and things at the bottom Bing, and give me the back room.
Well, the Melfi scenes are what's supposed to distinguish that from other kind of gangsters.
Do you feel that way? It's like when Diane Chambers talked to, when she would talk to Ted Danson in Cheers. Like, I didn't need that stuff.
You ever popped on Cheers recently and tried to sit through that thing?
Norm!
Slow burn, baby.
Yeah.
You could get away with a lot of that first coach.
Woody was stupid.
Yeah.
Woody?
No.
Vast improvement over Coach.
Coach was...
In fact, you could make the argument that everything that happened on that show, Shelley Long leaving, everything was a vast improvement.
The fact that you even got a spinoff out of that with Frasier is pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, it's looked upon as this like incredible show, which I'm sure for at the time it was. But so I've gone back because I didn't watch it when I was a kid. I went back and tried to watch it. And I'm like, Haji Machi. Yeah. I don't like how old it seems. I don't like a lot of stuff about it. All right.
All right, have a good
trip.
Have a good trip.
Have fun at the airport, pal.
Oh, really? At Logan?
Oh, yeah. I heard a story yesterday. The JetBlue line was out the door. What are you flying?
Delta.
New
That's
terminal.
a
He's
tough airport.
fine.
The A terminal was packed at 6 a.m.
Ryan says it's not that bad. He was just there.
International's not bad at all.
All right, well, unfortunately, I'm not doing that. All right, well, I'll leave early. Whatever. I'll sit there with him. Good luck me getting him out the door. All right, everyone, enjoy the next 5 days. Good luck enjoying the next 5 days without me around. All right, everyone, have a great time. Bye.
Have a weekend. Toucher and Hardy will be back on Monday on the Sports Hub.
Low testosterone can be a real problem for many men. It causes poor sleep patterns, decreased energy, brain fog, low sex drive, and it makes it tough to stay in shape. And as we all know, a healthy body is important to our overall health and well-being. This is Dale for Northeast Men's Health. And if some or all of those symptoms sound like you, we can likely help you be done with low T. But more than this, we can also help you lose weight, support your metabolism, improve your gains in the gym, and more with our new targeted body composition plans featuring GH peptides, NAD+, GLP-1, and more. Our low T protocols, applied in conjunction with our body composition plans, will help most men see real improvements, true weight loss, higher energy, improved sleep, stronger workouts, and a renewed sex drive as well. So call us. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start treatment the same day, your visit is free. Call 617-793-5000 or visit northeastmenshealth.com. We have 6 offices across the Northeast to serve you.
Featured therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
Baseball fans, enjoy Ice Cold Corona, official cerveza of MLB this season. Savor every moment of the game and turn this baseball season into your own private island. Limes in, play ball. Must be 21, relax responsibly.
Hey, spring can be a tricky season weather-wise, but new windows from Window Nation can keep your home comfortable no matter the weather. Plus, in March, the more you buy, the more you can save. Up to 50% off all window styles with 0% interest for 60 months. Visit windownation.com.
In the market for a new appliance? Doyon's Appliance in Reading, Gloucester, Bedford, and North Andover should be your destination. Doyon's carries all the major brand name appliances at a price you're looking for. Their sales staff is trained by the manufacturers, and most have come up through the ranks. Doyon's staff knows what it takes to get the job done. Don't waste your time with companies that pretend to be in the appliance business. Go to the experts at Doyon's and get the answers to your questions right the first time. You can shop Doyon's Appliance online at doyonsappliance.com.
Saturday.
Driver, start your engine!
The NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series screams into action only on the CW.
Let's go!
It's pure raw racing where chaos strikes without warning.
Big crash!
And where nothing is promised, not even next week.
We don't have a lot of chances to win. That's what's frustrating.
The NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series.
Live from Darlington Raceway, Saturday at 5:30 on Boston CW 56.
If you're in the trades putting in those long days, you deserve gear that can keep up. Brunt Workwear builds comfortable, durable work boots and apparel, hand in hand with real workers in the trades for the men and women who make this country run. That's why Brunt is proud to be an official partner of both the New England Patriots and the Gillette Stadium field crew, because the team that prepares the field for battle is just as important as the team on the field. Based out of North Reading, Brunt is finally giving workers the gear they deserve. Go to bruntworkwear.com and use code FELGER10 to save $10 off your first purchase with a risk-free trial.
Hi, Kimberly Day from Commonwealth Motors. Does your vehicle sound like this? Need a new one? We've got them.
Or do you love the one you have now and want to get it running perfect again?
Well, we're here for you. Our 5 Commonwealth service departments are here 6 days a week starting at 7 a.m. Our factory-trained technicians will give your vehicle a complete inspection and make it like brand new again.
Not only that, Commonwealth's prices are as good or better than all the chain stores. Our technicians are factory certified, and we have great deals and tires too.
And how about this? At Commonwealth, you can finance your repairs at 0%. 0% for the first 3 months.
So let's get your vehicle perfect again. Give us a call or book online.
Commonwealth Motors right off Route 495, exit 103A in Lawrence.
Find us fast at shopuslast.com.
And for sales or service, shop us last. You'll love us.
Join the Griffins for Family Guy Night with the Providence Bruins. Coming to the Amp on Saturday, March 21st. Be part of the fun with a Family Guy-themed game presentation, including fan cams, games, music, and much more. Get tickets now with a special Me+3 offer, only at ProvidenceBruins.com.
The Celtics tip off tonight at 8. Tune in for the call of the game from the Amica Insurance broadcast booth. Amica Insurance, the exclusive auto, home, and life insurance partner of the Boston Celtics. Visit amica.com today to learn more.
This hour brought to you by Revise, a Mass Save partner. Schedule your no-cost home energy assessment with Revise, and you could save 75 to 100% on insulation and air sealing. Call 800-885-SAVE or visit callrevise.com.
The final hour of Toucher and Hardy was brought to us by Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Enjoy quick and convenient vehicle maintenance this month. Visit NewEnglandOilChange.com for 15% off your drive-through oil change at Valvoline Instant Oil Change, the official oil change of busy people.
From the Town Fair Tire Studio, this is
strong finger all up and go.
This is home of the 18-time world champion Boston Celtics. WBZ-FM and HD Boston 98.5. The Sports Hub. Essential Sports Hub headline presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Bruins